Party people in the place to be. Live from 58 Dream Street, James with the Games. Happy Saturday, everybody. Thedev! Glad you're here. Don't know if anybody else is here yet, but that's fine too. It's a pretty good Saturday so far. I'm sleepy. I just, things won't slow down, which is fine. But, I mean, technically we could have slowed down today. The reason that we had to get going right away was... Oh, dear. I just realized something. I have to run out of this room for a second. I'll be right back. Hang tight. Okay, back from that surprisingly early intermission. Okay, microphone's working. Everything's good. It's all good. Okay. I waited too long to start my tea. So then when I realized that, I had the brilliant idea, I'll just bring everything I need to mix my tea up, which I did, which I'm doing right now. But I set a timer on the oven downstairs to tell me when my tea was ready. And Danielle is down there on the phone. So I realized that's going to be kind of obnoxious as she waits for me to arrive and turn the thing off for her. Or I mean, not for her, for myself, before she realizes that I'm not coming. Okay. I didn't think to grab a stir stick, but the day is saved because I have a straw that I didn't use. Boom. Tea is served. Shut this door behind me. All right. Whew. How's your day going, Thedev? Here I am. It's too warm in here. I need to take this sweater off. I hit start streaming by mistake when I meant to just say, okay, I'm set up now. Go make my tea. So I hit start streaming and then I was, oh no. The die is cast. All right, here we are. Here we are. Good to go. All right, so change of pace today. Completed Starflight last Saturday, which was a glorious victory. Very compelling ending of the game there. Anyone who's watching this, whether on demand or live, who might ever play Starflight and doesn't yet know the ending, mute me right now for a moment and I'll give you the thumbs up when I'm not spoiling the cool twist. That's the end of your grace period. So at the end you find out that the Injurium that was always... the Injurium that was always just, chilling there, being our fuel for light space travel, turned out to actually be the Ancients. Oh no! And so at the climax of the game, you essentially, not literal genocide in the sense that there are Injurium deposits all over the universe, all over the galaxy, but you do blow up the crystal planet, which does seem to house a lot of the Ancients. Because as silicon-based or crystal-based life forms, they have a really slow metabolism. And so we live too fast. They don't even perceive us as existing because we're like zipping around and we're like a blink of an eye to them. We don't perceive them as existing because they just seem like lumps. They move so slow. There's no way to ever communicate. And so you get the horrifying revelation. And then it's just like, well, nothing to do but blow them up. It's us or them. And so part of me had thought, like, interesting, because it gives you the moral quandary at the end, but there's no, like, role-playing choice about it, which is fine. I mean, not at all unusual for a 1986 game to not do that. But then I realized, technically, there is a choice at the end there. You could say, all right, I'm not comfortable genociding the Ancients. I'm just going to go play in this sandbox until the sun of Arth flares. And, I'm just not going to tell Interstellar and we'll just sail off into the sunset. That'd be a tough one to do, though, because it's nobody's fault. But we can't bridge this gap, and one of the two sides is going to have to die, and everyone I know and love is on the side that is not the ancients. So sorry, ancients. Okay, so here we are. Change of pace today. Wait, thumbs up. You can turn your mute off if you were avoiding Starflight spoilers there. For a little, just a breather here before I commit to another game that might take a longer time, I thought I'm going to play my beloved Adventures of Lolo games. And so here we are. And I don't know if I'm going to wind up doing all three, or if I'll do one and maybe part of two. I think I might have beaten two. I know I've never beaten three. I've been playing these games since I was a kid, and yet I've somehow managed to resist ever looking at a solution to one of their puzzles. So I'm still going in pure as the driven snow. And I know I haven't beaten Lolo 3 before. Maybe I can. If I get stuck, I imagine it's not that fun to just watch me stare. So maybe that'll be the sign it's time to give up. Now, Thedev, to go back to your comment of a minute or two ago. What's UW1? So yeah, here. But meanwhile, if you aren't familiar with the Lolo games from HAL Laboratories, they are also known as the Eggerland Mysteries games, I believe, in Japan, and then possibly also in Europe. I'm not sure. At any rate, oh yes, Ultima Underworld. I am not going to do Ultima Underworld 1 on the stream, because I've already played it before, and fairly recently, almost immediate, literally the two games that I played right before I started streaming games. I played Ultima Underworld, and then I played Ultima 4, which is why I started with Ultima 5 here. So, here's the thing. Ultima Underworld is officially set between Ultima 6 and 7, but it was also very clearly developed as a standalone game and then grafted into Britannia, as opposed to actually being built from the ground up to be there. Whereas from what I understand, Ultima Underworld 2, which I have not played, is an interstitial between the two Ultima 7 games that actually links the story through. So I will definitely be doing Ultima Underworld 2 between Black Isle and Serpent's whatever. Waffle Syrup, glad to have you here. Welcome. Okay, I gotta stop letting this cinematic play. Suffice to say, the bad evil king, whatever he's called, has kidnapped Princess Lala. And only Lolo, who I don't believe is a prince or anything, can save her. So he goes to the castle. I'm being called to. 1 second here. I'll be right back, gang. Okay, there we go. I'm responsible for feeding the cats because Danielle was letting me know she's going out. So I'll keep an eye on the clock. Yeah, and I really liked Ultima Underworld 1. So I'm looking forward to playing Ultima Underworld 2, and we'll do it to keep the story going. But yeah, otherwise I think we're okay. So yeah, here we are. The Eggerland Mysteries and Lolo games by HAL Laboratories spanned, I think they were on some of the Japanese computers at first, the MSX or whatever. And then there's a trilogy on NES, which from what I understand is not, they aren't exactly the same games in Japan and North America. And then there's a couple more Japanese ones that never came here, I think on Windows or PCs generally from the 90s. And then the series is just dormant, which is a bone of contention with me because I don't see how you couldn't sell an eShop version updating Lolo. And HAL has even made their own eShop puzzle series, Box Boy, that has been very popular. So come on. The market is there for a cute little lighthearted, not too pulse-pounding puzzle game for people to have fun with. Give us more Lolo, Nintendo/HAL. But anyway, here we are. Full disclosure, the last time I played Adventures of Lolo 1, this game through, was like a week and a half ago. There's a possibility that I'm just going to cruise through here without needing to solve puzzles. Here's the game and how it works. See, there's these little hearts on the screen, like the one I just picked up. On every screen, I've got to get all the hearts. When you get all the hearts, the treasure chest opens. When you get the treasure, all the enemies disappear and the door opens or a staircase appears if you're at the end of the floor. And then you have to get to that. If you've done all that, you've won. Sometimes, like when I just picked up the first heart here, some heart framers give you shots. With the shots, you can put enemies in eggs and push them. This enemy, the Snakey, has a very simple function. He's literally just an obstacle. He never moves. I mean, he moves in place. He cannot harm you. He's just a block that can be put in an egg and pushed. I'll explain the gameplay elements as they emerge. Here's 2 new gameplay elements. Gall, this dragon fella, his gimmick is he's asleep right now. But when I get the last heart framer, he will wake up. And when he wakes up, if Lolo steps in front of him, he will spew fire. And yes, the fire will kill Lolo. So you gotta plan ahead to get around the galls. There's also an emerald framer. This little green guy, that's just a thing that you can push. Note that the round obstacles are both green. Some of them are green, some of them are sandstone-y color. The sandstone-y ones are stone. The green ones are trees. None of the distinction between stone and tree is important yet. Okay. Here we go. I knew I wanted to get that one out of the way. A thing about Lolo 1, it's definitely the worst of the 3 on the NES. From what I understand, it is just a collection of puzzles that had already been used in the previous Eggerland games. And so, the puzzles are not as tight as they will get later in the series. For example, there is no reason... Oh, there's the difference. Trees don't block shots from enemies that can shoot. But there's no reason for me to use the 2 shots that I got in this level. I can easily solve it otherwise. So that's kind of a recurring bummer about Lolo 1. It's just the puzzles aren't really that hard. But, by the same token, might not take that long. We might be playing Lolo 2 quite soon. This little guy, I think his name is Leaper, but I could be wrong. Maybe it's Hopper. I think he's called Leaper. He moves around, semi-random, but he tries to find me. When he finds me and touches me, he falls asleep. Now he's asleep. He's just an obstacle. Sleeping Leapers, or sleeping whatever his name actually is. If anyone wants to Google that, drop the official name in the chat. Once he's asleep, he cannot be put in eggs. He's an immovable obstacle, which could create problems on a more challenging level than this. Skull dudes. You know what? Why don't I just look up list of Lolo enemies? Snakey, Skull, Alma, Rocky, Leaper, Gall, Medusa, Dom, Medusa. Yep, okay. So yeah, these guys are just called Skull. Skulls are also asleep for most of the level, just like Gall. When you finally obtain the last Emerald Framer, the skulls wake up and they chase you down. They don't have a ranged attack, but they start moving and they'll chase you. And they will kill you if they touch you. So, the challenge, when there's skulls involved, is to figure out how to set yourself up to get to that treasure chest after you awaken them. What I just did is a very common little move you need to do. 3 Emerald Framers stacked together. Push the ones on the sides forward. One of these has to give me shots, right? Yep. And then push the other one to the side. Later on, they'll do clever things with that. Maybe even once there's a challenge relying on us knowing that and then making it trickier in this game. But the later games in the series will constantly innovate in that regard. How are you today, Waffle Syrup? If I didn't already ask you that. So, new gameplay element. If you put someone in an egg, shoot them again, you blast them off the screen. See, look how the skulls are scary now? They've woken up. Oddly enough, almost nothing about the gameplay evolves over the course of the 3 series, but by Adventures of Lolo 2, everything looks better. Not Lolo. Lolo doesn't change. But every enemy is going to look better when we get to Lolo 2. These dudes are Rockies. They walk around very slowly. They're friendly. They won't hurt you. But they will get excited if they see you and run towards you. And they can push you. Actually, they can't push you, can they? Yes, they can. Okay. So, since Rocky is relentless in his affectionate chasing of you, good. Treasure. You don't need me to tell you this, Waffle Syrup, but treasure every chill day you can get. Yeah. So Rockies can't kill you, but they can trap you in, so you have to give up, or they can push you into hazardous areas otherwise. This is Alma. Nothing is active when the level just loads up, so until I move, nothing moves. But Alma will just move, period. Runs around, chases me, does a little roll thing sometimes. It's an armadillo. Called Alma, I assume, due to the Japanese not using distinct L and R sounds in their language. Uh-oh. This is tight. This is tight. I made it, though. See, obviously, this is what I'm talking about. The puzzle design not being this tight in this first game. Obviously, the Emerald Framers are here so I can try to trick Alma and pen her in so that she can't get at me and then I don't have to worry about her. But it's perfectly possible for me to just outwit her. Medusa. Medusa will look much scarier, I think, in Lolo 2. But Medusa is very scary. I would say, and I've played some survival horror games going all the way back to the original Resident Evil and here and there throughout. And I've occasionally been startled by a jump scare in those games. But I think the majority of my video game experience with jump scares has been from Medusas. Medusas just sit there asleep. Unless, you know what? I'll sacrifice a life. And then I'll use the rewind so that I didn't really sacrifice it. But if you go on the X or Y axis with them, and there's nothing to block a shot, they blast, they shoot awake, and their eyes shoot a Medusa beam at you, and you're killed. So I have had quite a number of scares in my life where I didn't know that I was about to accidentally walk in front of a Medusa. And as a result, I received quite a fright. This is not a super challenging puzzle, though. This game is really, it isn't my first Lolo. The first Lolo I ever played was Lolo 2. But it's my first Lolo game in the sense that so much of this game is just, hey, here's the concept. We'll do things with this concept later. Here's Dawn Medusa. Which, when I was a kid, I thought that his name is Dawn. I now realize as an adult, he's Dawn Medusa, like he's Mr. Medusa. Dawn Medusa, well, I'll show you, throws knives instead of eye beams, but is otherwise just a Medusa that moves. And so, we want to prevent him from getting a line with us. I'm going to move the Emerald Framers up. And here we go. Have you been playing anything cool lately, Thedev? Or Waffle Syrup? Anybody got anything cool going on? The time will come, I promise. I hope. I mean, maybe not. When this might get more interesting because the puzzles will challenge me. I'm not even sure that will happen before I basically, not quite speedrun, but zipped through Lolo 1. I'm all set up with Lolo 2. Ooh, that is on my very, very, very long list of games that I will play someday. And probably on the list of games that I will do on this stream one day. How are you finding it? Okay, what do I got here? Snakey and a Rocky. So basically, don't get trapped anywhere. Oh ho! Also, note that on the side of the screen, in the status bar column, at the bottom, there's a PW, powers. Powers aren't always available, but when they are, you see which ones are going to be available. In this case, the hammer. And it's kind of... There's a couple things in Lolo that add a small amount of like randomness or like make the levels so that you couldn't actually beat them for sure the first time you tried them, which I guess is like flawed design in some way. Yeah, I mean, that's what I've heard. Like, I had heard there's no combat. This is all just like a dialogue, mystery-solving game. But then I'd also heard that the dialogue is compelling. And certainly that's, I mean, like, I've found that. Ultima 6, like, I wasn't really feeling most of the, like, the combat was just kind of, and the dungeons didn't get me as well as the Ultima 5 dungeons and stuff. But the writing was still excellent, maybe even a little leveled up. And so just going around and talking to the characters was itself a really pleasant gaming time. Very engaging. So you saw I got one heart framer. The rest of them started blinking. When you've picked up enough heart framers, or maybe it's a specific heart framer, to set yourself up to the power, they start blinking. That tells you you'll get the next power when you get it. Oh, wow. So you're hopping between that of two very different games, I think. Unless, see, I don't know what Star Traders is, but I do know what Skullgirls is, and I'm inferring from the name Star Traders that it's probably not in the same genre. When I have the hammer, I can press A when I'm standing face to face with a rock and smash it. And eventually, again, the game will eventually do things with it. Maybe not this game, but the series will start to do things with these different tools to make challenging puzzles. Your mileage may vary, folks, but in all three of these games, I've always felt like they just nailed it on the endlessly repetitive, chipper music. I never get sick of it. Okay, so here, a new gameplay element. See this guy? It's exactly what you'd think. You can't enter these spaces from the direction they're pointing. See that I also have a new power. That does exactly what you might think. When I unlock that power, I can use it to change the direction of that arrow, and it generally will change it into a direction where it's just neutral. Like it's going to be a left or right, so I can enter it from the top, enter it from the bottom. It's perfectly fine. The big challenge here is just doing everything in the right order, which I'm not sure I've done yet. Okay, so I get the shots. One of them I will use to push this snaky up. Pin that skull and that Alma in place even when the skull's awake. The other one I need to use to stop this Alma so I can get in there. Grab that. Now I can change the direction. The remaining challenge is obviously that I need to lock down the two skulls. This is not a case where I could outwit or outrun the skulls from where the last two heart framers are. So, what am I going to do? I'm actually not 100% sure. There is something I know, which is that I have to, obviously, get two emerald framers out of this space up into there and use them to block it in. I think going down is the way. You know what? This should be fine. I believe. Hey, Abra. Hey, sweetie. No, I know how you're feeling, but it isn't quite that time yet. Order has broken down because Danielle's a big old softie. And so she, like, as soon as they start being like, hey, is it that time soon? She wants to just indulge them. And then I said, all right, fine, give it to them early. So now lunchtime isn't 3 p.m. It's somewhere in the space between 2:30 and 3 p.m. So I'll deal with that soon. All right, we got this on lock. It pays to have literally just done all the puzzles. In addition to the fact that they're not that hard. Having just very recently done them is paying off here. I'm already on floor 3. I think there's 10 floors in this game. 5 puzzles per floor. I don't think we'll be doing Lolo 1 for long. But look, we're getting further. Oh my goodness, Thedev. You have done an excellent job in a single paragraph of intriguing me with this Star Traders Frontiers. I'll have to hear more about this in a moment. I need to hear less of this. Not that I don't. Love your little sound, Zabra. So, hang tight, folks. Stupinski! Hey-o! Alright, hang tight, gang. I'm gonna be right back. We gotta have some lunch, right? Want some lunch? Yeah, go on. Alright, hang tight, gang. Boom! Back at it. Haha. I gotta get some new catnip toys for the cats because they do love the catnip. It's I'm sure most of us have seen a cat receive catnip before, but it's just even like the very first time they encounter it, which is the way that almost every cat I've ever seen encounter catnip for the first time. Like they see it and they're like, oh, and they go over. And just because it's a thing, they want to sniff it. So they go in for a normal sniff. And then they sniff it a little, and they're just mashing their face into it and then going wild. But you can rub catnip all over your own face all day. Get nothing. Okay. Another new power. As far as I'm aware, there are only ever 3 powers. You change the direction of a one-way or a directional floor tile, smash a rock with a hammer, and bridge, which is exactly what you might expect. So, I gotta figure out what to do here. One thing seems pretty clear. I do not want to get the last heart framer. Probably don't want to pick up one of the 2 heart framers on the skull side last, because then I'll be stuck there with them, and they will devour me. So, I needed to pick all of those up, because I gotta get the bridge to get across. Where do I want the bridge? I need to bring heart framers back. How many do I need to bring back? 3, right? Because I gotta block the bottom Medusa from the bottom to get that heart framer. I need to block the top Medusa from the left and above so I can walk past her and get the thing. Right here should work. Let's try it. Stupinski. This game is called The Adventures of Lolo. It's also the series. I know it was released in Europe, and I suspect probably in Europe it's known under its original name, which is Eggerland Mysteries. And so it is it's a pretty standard kind of. I don't know if standard is the right word. Block, like it's one of the seminal block pushing puzzle games. So in every level, I gotta get all the hearts, and then I gotta get the treasure, and then I gotta either get to the door or get to the stairs. And that's it. Very little changes. That's awesome. I'm really glad to hear that, Thedev. I'm glad that you are, first just because it's awesome that somebody's having a great time with a game that they really enjoy. But also just, this game sounds interesting to me and I'll have to learn more about it. Because one thing in both Star Control 2 and Starflight that I would sometimes think is like, man, That also helps. Like, I could go either way. Like, a procedurally generated, like whether it's roguelike or whether it's just every new game is going to be different. I like that approach, but I also do, there's something to be said for a crafted approach too. But yeah, with Starflight and with Star Control 2, thought I've sometimes had. Oh, by the way, folks, please, if anybody's tolerance for the endlessly repeating, bouncy, puzzle-solving music of the Lolo games is lower than mine, please let me know and I can turn it down. Or up. Ah, right. Let me try this again. So, that time around, Stimpinski, I was pushing the boxes because the enemies there were two enemies called Medusas on the right, and the way the Medusas work in the game is just if you get on an X or Y axis with them, they blast you with their eye beams and you're dead. So I had to push the emerald framers around to create blocks that would prevent them from doing it. In this one, we have 3 enemies. You see the skulls? They're asleep until I get the last heart framer, and then they awaken and they chase me down. If they touch me, I'm done. The up in the top right corner, currently not moving because the level doesn't wake up until I move once. That's Alma, the little armadillo there that we can see from behind right now. Alma is just going to run around all the time, and if she touches me, I'm done. And then the little snake guys are called Snakey, and they are almost the equivalent of blocks, except in order to push them, you need to have shots to put them in eggs. And shots are randomly awarded, not randomly, but some heart framers give you 2 shots. It's actually not random at all, because the puzzle system would be really messed up if it was randomized. Okay, here we go. So there's a little action element here, and I haven't really thought through what I'm going to do here. But when I have shots, I can put enemies in eggs. So there. Okay. Alma is dealt with. Now I got to think for a minute. I don't have any powers, and one of the framers is on the other side of the water. So there's a new gameplay element that I'll introduce, that is being introduced, and that I'll explain right now. It's the other besides which heart framers give you shots, and when there's special powers, which heart framers or how many heart framers do you need to get the power. It's one of the only things that you couldn't just tell by looking at the level at the start. So sometimes it might not be possible, or it might be unlikely that you solve the puzzle on the first try, which I guess is probably a shortcoming, the little less tight. And this other thing is that if we don't have a bridge to get across the water, we can push an egg into it and go across. And then sometimes, like definitely now, there's a current in the water and the egg will move. And that's another thing that just, you have to find out what the current is because the water doesn't communicate it. But check this out. The skulls awaken, but I'm fine. I could have probably stayed on the egg and it would have taken me right to the treasure chest, reducing any risk that when I got off, a skull got me before I went in. These dudes are called leapers because they hop around. And their gimmick is that they don't hurt me if they touch me, but they fall asleep when they touch me. When they fall asleep, they're now permanent obstacles. They can't be put in eggs. So they can't kill you, but they can ruin your whole mojo. So the key is often to figure out how you're going to get them to fall asleep somewhere that doesn't screw you up. For example, boom, got that one. Now I'm running. Action gaming. Here we go. I'm going to do the same thing. Haha, Leaper can't go across the treasure chest. There's not going to be a lot of thrilling puzzles in Lolo 1, although it's also a very short game. And I've got Lolo 2 locked and loaded. This is just a little souffle, kind of like with Pirates, where I played it for a couple weeks before being like, alright, time to commit to something longer. Likewise, that's what I'm doing here. Yeah, once again, like, I'm ending this with 4 shots. I know that if I wasn't already a Lolo expert, a high-level Lolo player, probably using the shots could have been helpful to deal, because you can put Leaper in an egg while he's away. Yeah, if I focused harder, That's probably true, Stimpinski. The longest I made was 2 rounds. So, 2 days, 2 sessions, 2 streams. Because I kept being forced to retire. Because I kept getting beaten up and stuff. Broke my health. Happy shopping, Waffle Syrup. I'll be going for a little while yet. So I guess it depends how many groceries you're buying. But I guess we'll find out. If not, I should mention this a few times. Tomorrow, and only tomorrow, the Ultima 7 stream, the first Ultima 7 stream, will be much earlier than normal. Like 4 hours earlier. Like at 10 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Because it's Thanksgiving and I gotta do a family thing. Ooh. Yeah. Oh, jeez. I kept starting this thought. And then not finishing it. With Star Control 2, and then even more, I think, with Starflight, since we had a named crew that even had different species. You know, we picked them. Away missions seem like the kind of thing, you know, actually have the crew get out Star Trek style and investigate. That have just told me the title of this game. I know the S is space or stars. The F is frontiers. Boom, boom. Hold on. I'm just going to find it for you. Star Traders Frontiers. Sounds like a space trading game. Based on what that has told us. Okay. So, here, 2 things. I gotta... Whew. Man. Yeah. That sounds sounds very appealing. I'm definitely looking into that. Because I still don't know what I'm going to do next for a Saturday game that is going to take longer and be more in-depth. But I've had a alternating between science fiction and fantasy thing going. So another space game might be just the thing. Who knows? I mean, maybe in 2 weeks I'll be like, I need to know what's happening on the trade routes of the Cloud Nebula. And we'll just be doing Starflight 2. Who knows? Alright, got a block in the skulls, obviously. I cannot get the heart framer that's touching a skull last, obviously. And then I can't push this one down, or else I'll never be able to get to the treasure chest. So, my options are constrained, which is great. Like, I have to push this to the lower corner, so I know that I'm not thinking about that anymore. I know that I need to grab this right now. I might as well grab this right now. And so now, I have a framer I can use to block one of them. And I think it'll be easier to block this one first. I think. Not just easier. Perhaps that's the only way. Because I'm thinking if I block the other one, when I fetch another framer, how would I get it up there? Like, I can see how to get it to here, but if I'd already blocked here, how would I get it up to here and get it over there? I don't think I could. Alright. Yep, pretty straightforward stuff. I gotta resist the temptation of getting the last heart while I run around here. It might have made sense in some ways to start with Lolo 2, since this is a pretty, like, the puzzles are pretty low grade in this first one. And also, I did literally just play through this game 2 weeks ago or less. But I don't know if I've ever beaten Lolo 2. Oh, yes. Baba Is You is the only game that, since I was a kid, because I loved Lolo so much, I always wanted to play box-pushing puzzle games whenever I saw them. And Baba Is You is the only one that lands that I would put in the Lolo tier. There's Lolo and there's Baba Is You. And then there's a whole bunch of other box-pushing games, and probably some I haven't played that are great, but yeah. Oh, I love Baba Is You. Have you played much of it, Stimpinski? Oh, is it ever? Is it ever? I have not 100%ed it by any means. although I've solved an awful lot of the puzzles. And it's, besides just like how cool it is, and at the upper levels, when you're down to like, there's only like 10 puzzles I can do right now left in the game. That's true, honestly. You can, like, you know, it's not the tactile experience of playing it that's so appealing. And you can absolutely get a... You can work your brain just looking at it. I do like pushing the blocks, though, so I enjoy playing it. One new gameplay element here is the sand. It slows you down, which can be a problem when you're trying to either dodge shots or escape moving enemies, obviously. And these guys are gulls, not a new gameplay element, Stupinski, but I'll keep you in the loop here. They're asleep until I get the last framer, then they wake up and they will spit. If I walk in front of them, they'll spit fire. It's dodgeable, unlike the Medusas. I can imagine that being frustrating. I would say, how many? Somewhere around 10 puzzles. I did need like a nudge, and thankfully, some just rad dude has made this extensive non-spoiler hint guide, and you can like actually go up the tiers of hints. And so just some. And most of the time, the hint guide has wound up... Some of the times that I've looked at the hint guide, for like maybe like 5 times, maybe about half the time, probably less though, probably less than half the time I've had to look at it, which is for a fairly small portion of the puzzles I solved because I'm smart. Getting the ones back here, because I obviously don't want to be going on the slow sand, even if there's actually no risk from it. Weird. Okay. Yeah, there's nothing to this. The only thing I need to do is block one of the gulls at the bottom of the screen from above. There's one emerald framer. And then I have to get the framer and the heart framer last. So I do that, and now it's solved. It's all over but the busy work. But yeah, most of the time that I've looked at the hint guide, it's like I click the hint and it says a thing that was what I was thinking, and I could like... So it just turns out to be confirmation of a hunch that just like I couldn't get to work. So like I'm like, all right, time to go back and do that thing that I thought, and then try to unfocus my eyes and like see new possibilities that I missed. Absolutely love that game. Just a terrific game. I always, once a year, I take some time in the first year class for my young engineers of the future to be like, here's some video games that I think you should check out, not just because they're cool games, because that would not be an appropriate use of class time, but because they will make you better at logical reasoning and perhaps help you understand programming a bit better, divorced from needing to remember syntax and language and stuff. These guys are Dawn Medusa, these scary looking dudes. They have the same kill you on the X or Y axis as Medusa has, except they do it with a knife instead of their eyes. And then the other thing is, they move! Ah! However, this is not a very difficult puzzle. 2 hard framers and a wall of stones, and then the actual wall for each of them. There's nothing to do here except secure all of them in place. Which ideally, like, it's certainly, especially as we get deeper here, maybe not deeper in this one game, but deeper in the series, I start seeing some more challenging puzzles. A lot of the times, you cannot easily secure all the Dawn Medusas so that they're not moving around and they could never possibly harm you before you do anything. And so, like, you get a little bit of timing-based stuff where you actually have to move quickly and accomplish something before it gets you. And you have to you got to keep track of all these potential vulnerabilities, or else you're going to be terrified by the jump scare of the game freezing and the bouncy music stopping and a knife flying across the screen to stab poor Lolo. But yeah, otherwise, this is pedestrian. Whoop. Almost just made a silly mechanical error there. I guess I could live on the edge. Just not trap this guy. Nah. Boom. Thanks for playing, Don Medusas. Okay. Obviously, this is a puzzle about the currents. We only have snakies, so nothing's gonna hurt me. Okay. How many shots can I get from the hearts that are available to me? Only 2. So I could shoot this guy twice to blast him off the screen, but then I could never get into the water. And now, frustratingly, I'm depending on guessing right where the current is, but I bet it's down. Yep. Okay. On and off. Please come back. Please come back. Ah, okay. This'll do. On, off, back on the egg, and then off at the bottom. Zap, zap. You end with 3 shots. Not tight puzzle design. But they're just getting warmed up. Lolo 2, and especially Lolo 3. Whew. Incredible games. Exactly 1 heart framer. So I need to use the emerald framers here to manage this place before I touch anything. The skull seems pretty straightforward. Wait, is it though? Yes, it is. Check this out. I do need to think a little bit ahead here, because there's actually a secret getting to the door challenge that is waiting to surprise a hasty player. Because you might think, just because you're thinking about boxing in the skull, that I'm gonna rewind, but push it up to here, just because that's the path and now it's securely blocked. But if I do that, I can never get to the door now, because there's no way to push that in any direction other than up. So if I leave it here, he's still trapped, but now I can get to the door. Because when the skull's gone, I'll push this framer up to the top, and I'll grab it. Okay, now I gotta deal with the gulls and the Medusa. Every time there's 3 framers creating a wall, you always gotta do this. And then I guess I'll push this one up. And then up and down. I have to use every framer here, so at least there's efficiency in the puzzle design. But it's fairly clear to me how to do that, because I'm an old hand. And also, yes, I did just do this very recently. I doubt I've memorized all 50 puzzles. But I guess we'll find out. Maybe I have. Gulls look very silly when they wake up. They kind of look like they're supposed to be cyclopses, but I'm pretty sure I remember from concept art, or perhaps better sprites in the later games, that they are cross-eyed. They're just goofy, cross-eyed little dragon men. Okay. Skulls. Always a cause for concern. Dawn Medusa is going to be the real problem here. I think this is a case where I need to take actions quickly. Heart framers also block shots. So not that quickly. But there are 3 vulnerable spaces that I kind of need to step in here. Okay. Then, gotta think about this. But not that hard, because it seems reasonably clear to me that I'm going to get 2 shots, because the way I'm going to get to the end is by coming up behind, getting the one behind the gall last, and then shooting him and pushing him out of the way. So, I won't lie, that's sort of a thing that I probably do. Although it's I don't think I do literally the same thing over and over, but I do sometimes, I think I have something that will work, but it hasn't worked for me yet. And so I know that I'm missing something. And so sometimes I do the same setup so I can look at it and be like, okay, what is different here? It's Now with Baba Is You, because I'm so like there aren't that many puzzles left, and so also pardon me, except for maybe some puzzles that I haven't reached yet. Yeah, I get what you mean. Just your definition of insanity thing. Like, come on, this has to be the answer. If it was the answer, you would have won by now. Stop and think. What are you missing? Now with Baba Is You, with so few puzzles left to go, I tend to... Oh no! I forgot about the skulls! I did not have leisurely time there. It's okay. It's okay. Just as I'd hoped. Got shots from that last hard framer. Here we go. Onwards. Haven't lost a life yet. It isn't... What a weird Dawn Medusa. I guess it was just aesthetics here that they went with a Dawn Medusa, right? Oh, in fact, yes. I get it. The gimmick of this level, it's the marriage of Medusa and Dawn Medusa, right? We've got the Isle, we've got them at the end, or they're the king and queen and it's their court. Because otherwise, what's the point of using a Dawn Medusa if you trapped him to be stationary? That's just a Medusa. When I was a kid, Stimpinski, I thought that Medusa was his surname, and perhaps it is, but I thought that, like, Dawn, like, short for Donald. Now I'm a little more cultured. I understand that he is Don Medusa. Mr. Medusa. Yeah. No kidding. Better. I'm interested to see if I've become any, like... I'm not going to find out here playing Lolo 1. But I'm interested to find out if I've become any wiser, better at problem solving. Oops, I should not have waited for that snaky egg to crack. Now this is probably unsolvable. I'm going to take my lumps and press the select button and lose a life. But here's the thing about losing a life. It's dumb to have a live system in a game like this. And in Lolo 3, they will take the live system away and give you unlimited lives. Also in practice, if you get game over, you actually, when you continue, if you continue without resetting your nest or starting over, then you... what am I trying to say here? You just start again on the exact same stage. So it's like, okay, why did we have to go through the rigmarole of showing me a game over screen? But then it only gives you a password when you clear a floor. So if you actually, your mom said, like, you have to do your homework now, it's time to go to bed, I want to watch my show, whatever, and you had to turn it off, now you're punished. Next time you play, you have to redo the puzzles that you've solved, but that doesn't present a new challenge. It's weird. Just stop doing it soon. Okay, I gotta think here. Obviously, I should, this actually I don't think is going to be too difficult. I need to block Medusa and Dawn Medusa from the bottom so I can get across here. And then as long as I don't get that heart framer in front of them last, the Gauls are no issue. They're just not going to be involved in the story. Executing. I'll just push it all the way up. That's a thing that's not necessary. It'll block, the snaky will block him just as well if I left it in front of the bridge, for instance. But because of all of the many heart-jumping, startling jump scares that I've caused since I was a kid for myself by bumbling in front of a Medusa or Dawn Medusa, not realizing I was doing it, I like to lock it right in. So there's no chance I'm going to walk below either of them now and get shot. I grab that. And yeah. Once again, there's two snakies I don't need to use. And yet it gives me 2 shots. Wow. Another floor down. We're rolling. Yeah, where I'm down to very few puzzles now in Baba Is You, and also most of them, well, some of them I'm sure I will unlock a few more in the course of things, but most of the puzzles I'm down to are puzzles that I bang my head against a whole lot and just never finish them. So now when I play Baba Is You, it's every 6 months or so, I get really into Baba Is You for a week. Because I've waited long enough that some of the time I've even opened up a puzzle that I was stuck on and I just perceive the answer as soon as I open it up. Like, maybe when I was sleeping, my brain was solving the puzzle and like storing the idea away from me, but the fresh eyes thing helps. So, here's our first weaponization of the 3 Emerald Framers push gimmick. Because there's lots of framers and I need to decide the right spots. Not literally physically stuck. Personally stuck on not being like, come on, how is this possible? This is not possible, how can this be? Which sometimes has turned out, when I look at it later, because there was a cool application of the different rules that had never occurred to me before, and now I recognize it. Other times, especially with the much later game puzzles, what it turns out to be... Okay, I'm just gonna... I think this one might be one that just legitimately beats me the first time, just because the risk here is that you lock yourself up and can't complete the level. And it's quite possible I'll do that I won't make the right moves. But let's see, because maybe I will. Again, I did just solve this a week ago, or so. Okay, a week or so ago. Alright. Now, as I've set this up, I have no choice but to push this one. But that might turn out bad for me, or it might not matter. No, because, okay, I can do the push those two. Oh yeah, I don't have to touch it again, because I can then just do that. Alright. Now, obviously this will wake the gulls. That's not a problem. Part of my objective here must be to block them. But I do have to think about whether I'm going to lock myself somehow. No! No, this is... I think I've got it. I think I'll grab this. Framer to the top framer. Okay. Alright. I'm going to need to block that Medusa on the top and on the right. I'm going to be able to reverse at least one arrow here. Probably going to be able to push the snakies around. There's lots of emerald framers, but some of those aren't going to be usable. Alright, let's get down to business. Take what I can easily get, because I need to unlock the power and I need to find any shots that I may need. For context, if I haven't made this clear, for anyone who wasn't here at the start, the green circle obstacles are trees, and the other ones are rocks. Rocks stop a Medusa shot or a Gull shot or a Dawn Medusa shot. Trees don't. See? But that wasn't a real death, so I can rewind. Alright, now. Yeah. I can tell there's no way that I'm going to be able to get Medusa blocked from the right without going up here. So the choice of which arrow to reverse is clear. Because I have to go up there, so that can't be a down arrow for me. So now, I have no shots yet. I gotta think about this. I need to get at least one and possibly 2 framers out of there. I think I want to push this one down. Because if I push that one down and this one over to the left, then not only can I push this one all the way to the corner and not worry about it blocking me anywhere, I can fetch this one. And if I move it up to there, then when I come back out, I can push it. And then this might be also actually a learning experience kind of thing where it was designed to teach you this. I just already know. And it's probably intuitive to a lot of people who've played enough video games to know about, one-way arrows. But I can't enter it from that direction. But it's not, you have to enter it in the direction it's going. So I can go up there, push this little dude up. Okay, one more, and there's obviously, pardon me, no shots. So it's just using the one framer that's left. Easy peasy. No stopping this train, baby. Do 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 do. Any new board games on the go, or that you've sampled, Stupinski? I still haven't bought Wingspan, but I'm going to. I found out it's on Switch, so I am going to pick that up, quite possibly tonight. All right, lots going on here. It's easy to imagine. Ooh, sounds like a trading or economy game, of course. Should we call it free market asterisk? Obviously, we know that to varying degrees, all markets are regulated human social contracts. Yeah. Alright. Well, no harm in grabbing this one. I've got 2 shots. The big question is, do I go down first? Do I go down through this first, or do I go down through this first? I cannot come back up through this, which means something? I'm going to try this side. I do not remember. I do remember that only one side, you got to go the right way first. But I think this is a case where instead of trying to I think we should rely on empiricism here rather than rationalism. Because I'll be thinking about the possibilities all day. Ah. Well, that isn't optimal. I think generally you want your things to be as complicated as they need to be. Not striving to achieve more. Alright. I obviously want to get one of the framers, one of the hearts, here on the left, to the left of the side of the screen last. Because if I get the ones up there last, I'm either going to be smashed by the gall or taken down by the skulls. So, 4 shots. I will get Snaky out of my way here. Grab this. And then... well, then I think I can start dealing with this. So here's one part that's easy. It's always nice when you can look, especially later when the puzzles get much harder. Nice to be able to look and be like, there's only one thing I could possibly do with this emerald framer. Because there's no way I could ever get to the other side of it to move it somewhere else without getting zapped by Medusa. So it's just there to block her. And then, I certainly hope I get at least one shot here. Yep, alright. There's not much to this. I think from here it's just going to be a race. Can I win the race from where I am? We're about to find out. Because they're coming. Ah, they went the wrong way. This is what I mean about Lolo 1 constantly, especially because I think Lolo 2 is the first one I ever played. Lolo 1 is a constant disappointment where the puzzle is just, it seems too easy. This one has high percentage chance of soft locking on me. But I'll grab the heart framers that are available first. Obviously, got to deal with the skulls. These puzzles aren't like, yeah, they're not sharpened to the point like you constantly end with tons of leftover shots or like free floating heart framers that you never pushed or like, yeah, that stops. This game will we go much harder later in the Lolo series. Okay. What do I do? I mean, I got to deal with the skull. I got to get that skull heart. Now I've got a bridge. And there's going to be one more bridge. So this bridge I want to use, I think, to do something with these. And I think the way to do this is to come in from the top. I've got the other bridge. Please give me shots. Nothing else gave me shots. I'm soft locked. I'm doomed. I'm defeated. Okay, so what should I have done differently? Probably the one surrounded by snakies probably gives me more shots. So I guess I had to do that sooner. Okay. Trying again. Get the ones that are easily available to me. That part is straightforward. This time. There. Got the shots. Mystery solved. I guess I'll take care of this. Yep. Taken care of. Except... Uh-oh. Oh, no. I can use a bridge here. A bridge in 2 shots. I've got the other bridge. And I know how to do all of these, so it's just a matter of out-racing the skulls. Hooray! Gall, unlike Medusa or Dawn Medusa, doesn't insta-kill you. So if you can get past them before the fireball reaches you, you're golden. Whoa, alright. They're starting to look more intimidating, at least. One second here. Okay. Well, there's only one way I can go at the start. Because the Medusa's blocking me in 2 ways, and obviously if I go up here, I'm just stuck. So, and if I go in here, I'm stuck, so I have to go here. I can't push down and get through there, so I have to go here. Now I have to make a decision. And I think I should do what I can do without moving any hard framers first, which I have now done all of. I think, or emerald framers. I think pushing that one down there to get it out of the way is a good move. And then come back down here. I gotta decide. You know what? I can get this framer. Oops. I did not mean to push that. I'm gonna let myself off the hook for my mechanical slip up there. Because ultimately, as I think Baba Is You has demonstrated, sticking a rewind in these things does not make them easier. Because the actual challenge is solving the puzzle. It just saves you a bit of time. Okay. Now. Grabbed a meaningless heart framer there. I need to block off at least the right of this Medusa, I think. But actually, maybe I don't even need to do that. Ooh, awesome. It's my own fault. I need to reach out to my old library school friends. So we haven't done our... Since the pandemic, we've fallen off of our like bi-monthly or quarterly board game night down to an annual, and we haven't even done the annual yet this year. I need to get my ass in gear. It's on me to send the message that says, "Hey gang, let's do this." It's not really that hard to send that message, so I gotta get around to that. Okay, I don't actually think it matters that I blocked that thing, but it doesn't matter, I think. Okay. Other framers can be obtained. Yeah, I think this is another one that looks more intimidating than it is because it's so busy looking. But is that the case? Yep, it is. Because look, I just gotta go there, 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 ding. And then I'll push this one in, this one down, this one over, this one up. And there's stairs, another floor down. Huzzah! Alright, we're rolling. Floor 6. I think there's 10 floors. No, I gave them lunch earlier. I was like, oh no, it's past lunchtime. This is what letting the system break down does to you. Okay. Lots of Medusas. But where do they need to be blocked? The bottom ones need to be blocked from the top. The two upper ones only need to be blocked on the horizontal and only from one side since they're against the wall. And then the one in the middle needs to be blocked 4 times. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 framers. Yeah, we can do this. Especially because 4 out of 8 are just... No! How was that? Is this the thing you've done often, or was this your first experience? And I must say, Snipitsky, I've had this thought many times in the time we've known each other. You sound like a great neighbor. I bet your neighbor really appreciates that there's a, you know, just a helpful dude who wants to, you know, entertain her kids sometimes for her. I bet my sister would be really grateful that there was someone to entertain her kid for her sometimes if she just ever bothered. Oh ho! I have never done any live roleplay. Well, if you count it, I've done murder mysteries, and not many. But I haven't done a ton of live role-playing, but it seems like something I would enjoy. I certainly enjoyed doing the murder mystery that we did last year. At New Year's. It was set in the 20s, and I was an American boxer. So I got to use my extremely lazy Southie accent. Alright. I need 3 of the remaining framers. This is not hard. Because 2 of them are going to get locked on either side, but 1 will be free, and then the center one. Alright. I have a strong suspicion. We'll see. Oh man. I would have loved that when I was a kid. All I wanted to do when I was a kid was somehow get to experience sword fighting. I remember there was a cheap toy that I never even had, but my cousins in New Brunswick, the next province over, had it. That was like... It was like a fencing foil, but like made of plastic and stuff. And you would hold it, and it had like a ring around it that had 4 little circle things that could be pushed in. And then it had just like a foam, kind of like a pool noodle, but stiffer, coming out to be the actual blade, or point, or whatever. Hey! Zoe! I am very proud of myself for arresting myself from saying your shoot name there, Zoe. Good for me. It's something completely different here today. I'm playing Adventures of Lolo. Nice. Yeah, so this fencing game, like, the idea was, you know, you're using your pool noodle fencing blade to push the circles on the other person's guard before they push yours. And I always thought that was so cool, even though I don't even know if we ever formally played with it when I was there. But yeah. There's some cool neighbor. I've just been like, come on, kid. We're going to the medieval fair and we're gonna get you fencing. I would've been like, yes! Alright. Solved! Boom. Have you, Zoe, I know that you're planning to start streaming. Have you started streaming? Oh, wow. Wow, Stimpinski. Even more exciting in my heart anyway, than just fencing. Fighting with all kinds of different weapons. Congratulations, Zoe. What did you play? I'm sorry I didn't catch that. I did nothing yesterday. If I just sat down on my computer, I would have seen that you were live and I would have tuned in. Okay. Man, I gotta look into opportunities for adults to do play sword fights. Right here. Oh, sweet. I just finished last weekend. I think you were here once when I was playing it. I just finished Starflight, which is absolutely and obviously an influence on No Man's Sky. Just it was from 1986, so it's like EGA graphics and nothing nearly as awe-inspiringly beautiful. I did. It had a wild twist at the end, where it turned out anybody who's in the audience who might ever play Starflight doesn't want to know the twist. You've been warned. Including you, Zoe, but just in case. Everyone knows now. I'll give the thumbs up when I've said it. In the end, it turns out that the material Endurium, which is the material that enables faster than light travel. Yeah, I do think I want to push this down. The material that we're using to enable faster than light travel, based on technology left behind by the mysterious ancients, it turns out the Endurium is the ancients. They are crystal beings, and because they are made of crystal and not carbon, they have very slow metabolisms, meaning that they experience existence on a vastly slower time scale than us, and so they don't know that carbon life exists, and they think that we're a virus that was just killing them, and so that's why they created the crystal planet, which is the space station that's floating through the galaxy causing suns to flare, because they're trying to burn out they're trying to destroy the virus. Meanwhile, we don't know, to us, they just seem like rocks, and so we're just burning them in our engines to fuel interstellar travel. And because of the vastly different timescales we exist on, it's impossible for us to ever communicate. And so then at the end of the game, it's just like, well, you could either fly around until time runs out and the crystal planet blows up Earth and it's game over. Or you could say, we gotta blow up the crystal planet. I don't know yet. Someday I'm gonna play Starflight 2, and I'm hoping that they're not still using Endurium as their fuel. But I don't know. It might be the case, which would be friggin' cynical. Okay, here we go. I believe there's a new gimmick here, gang, and this is it. See how I pushed it? Obviously, these are tile-based levels, but Lolo, and anything that moves, actually moves in half-tile steps. Alright, happy phone calling. Yeah! The thing is, Starfleet, if they discovered that dilithium crystals were sentient, would absolutely be like, this is a crisis, we gotta shut things down. I do not get the sense that Interstell would care. Interstell seems like a much crummier organization. Alright, so when you push something halfway, half of an obstruction is enough to stop shots. So it's kind of the trickiest thing that Lolo 1 does, and they really kind of overuse it, as we'll see in the later puzzles. As long as you remember, push it halfway, you got the goods. Okay, now I need 2 more obstructions here. I need to block the Medusas at the bottom from the right, and then I need to block the other Medusa, the solo Medusa, from the top. Which I'm going to need to do with the Snakey, so I sure hope there are shots available. Actually, maybe Is there... No, I can't see any way... I can't get any of these emerald framers out of here. Because there's no way to get below them to push them up once they're out of the little area. So I suspect, unless I've just completely misread the puzzle. Yep, there's my shots. I'll put Snaky in an egg, and I'm golden. Another one down. Excellent. Okay. I'm probably going to need to use that leaper by causing him to fall asleep in a specific spot so that he is obstructing Medusa. So where do I need to block the Medusas here? I need to block the lower one from both the left and the right, because I'm going to need to get up in the upper right, so I need to go past it on the right. And on the left, I need to block it to get that heart framer. This Medusa, by the patch of grass, only needs to be blocked right there. And the patch of grass, the deal with the grass is that leapers and almas can't, and the skulls, when you wake them up, cannot go on the grass. So the grass is very helpful for steering Leaper to a specific spot so that Leaper sleeps where you want Leaper to sleep. I can tell that the level was trying to trick me here, because check this out. It seems obvious that I would use this framer, push it right and down to the spot right next to it that I know I need to block eventually. But then how would I get past the Medusa on the other side? I see through you. Very clever, but not clever enough. Okay, now I think I want to utilize Leaper next. So the way the grass is going to help is that if I stand here, Leaper can only touch me from one direction. Now Leaper will forever block that Medusa. Thanks, Leaper. There's nothing left to do here. I will use this one remaining framer to emerald framer, the push block, to secure my path to the one last heart. Another one down. Next time I clear a floor, got to hit the intermission. Run to the washroom. I should shout this out every now and then. I would understand if anyone in the audience had a lower tolerance for this endlessly repeating chipper music than I do. So if this is getting annoying, let me know. I can turn it down. I even have a separate monitor, so I can still enjoy the endless repeating music without subjecting you to it. Alright, what's the trick here? I have to be prepared to escape the skull. I need to block Medusa there in at least 3 directions. It's not possible to block her from the bottom, which means the bridge will need to be... I'll need to use the bridge at the lower right to go across the water there. So the last heart framer that I'm going to get is going to be the one right down below her. Okay. So what I need now is shots. Oh, is it not coming through? If it's too low in the mix, there. I can turn it up. Okay. And again, let me know, because it can go back down. Okay. This part's easy enough. Two shots in the bridge. Obviously, I need to push Snaky in the water, and there's got to be a current here. And then hopefully, the current will come over to here. I'll turn it back down in a sec. There. It really, it is absolutely music that is for, bopping your head back and forth or walking like this. Lolo and the princess Lala, who, yes, is pink Lolo with a bow, as you would expect, as you might expect. Oh no. Oh no, this is solvable. I've done it. Hooray! Good job, me. Once again, just the puzzles aren't. There's not much going on. I bet Lolo and Lala are more famous now because HAL Laboratories also makes the Kirby games, and so in various Kirby games, including the very first Kirby's Dream Land, there's a boss called Lolo and La La La, playing off King DDD. So it's like evil Lolo and Lala, and Kirby has to kill them. Well, this one is all about the current. And obviously, I need this guy to get me to that emerald framer, which I'll push to the left. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Alright, block him from the bottom. And from the top. And then grab these. Whoops. No, I probably want to... oh no. I messed it up. Well, I will watch this egg to see if the one egg is actually enough to get me back to the treasure. It is. Alright. Let's run that again. Let's run that back. For at least the couple of weeks that I keep Lolo going here, it's going to be a very funny contrast since I'm also going to be doing Ultima 7, the Black Gate. So we're taking a huge leap forward in Origin's, efforts to create worlds that you live in. And then we have Lolo, which is, as we see as the series progresses, the graphics will get a little bit better. We'll get different bouncy music. And otherwise, I think Lolo 3 adds one new enemy. And that's it. I wonder too, Stimpinski. I'll tell you right now, everything I know about the remaining trilogy of Ultima games. Which is, of course, technically a quintet, since Ultima 7 is 2 games and also Ultima Underworld 2 is part of the story. Oh, I gotta do that thing I said, where we made it to a new floor. I'm gonna take a brief intermission to run to the washroom, folks. I'll be right back. Back at her. Okay, so I'll tell you everything that I know about the Ultima Trilogy Quintet, what's left. I know that it's commonly referred to as the Guardian Trilogy. Like 4, 5, and 6 are the Age of Enlightenment Trilogy. This is the Guardian Trilogy. I know that it's going to have a villain. I know that the villain's name is the Guardian. I do not know what the Guardian is, or what his villainous scheme is. And I know that Ultima 8 introduces platform jumping puzzles, which I'm very skeptical of, and is not set in Britannia, and possibly has some very unethical elements in the story. I just know that Richard Garriott made a big apology statement to the saying, with Ultima 9 we're going back to Britannia and we're bringing back the virtues. So I'm fascinated to see. At the very start, that when you were like, it's finally here, it's the day, I was like, wow, I didn't think that anybody except for me was going to be excited about Lolo. And it turns out I know well, I think with Ultima 8 Pagan, I think the idea is that it's set I'm inferring here, so nobody take this as Ultima lore, because I don't know. But I bet, just based on my, moon gates and dimension jumping and stuff, I assume the Guardian is an extra dimensional villain, so maybe Pagan is his homeworld or something. I assume the Avatar has a reason to go to some place that's not Britannia, but it is also the kind of thing where yeah, you've spent a lot of time getting us attached to Britannia. Maybe let's hang out in Britannia more and see what's up. Okay, what am I doing here? Alright, put Gaul in the thing. Dude, push down. Yeah, even maybe it is. And so maybe I'm slandering the game. Because it seems why not have another world that we hop back and forth from Britannia? We're really not going to go to the Lyceum and see what's changed? But I don't know, we'll see. I'm happy to report, of course, that we still have Ultima 7, which is much more well regarded. Okay, so obviously the big problem here with this level, the challenge here, is that I need to block all these goals before I wake them up. I don't know how best to do that, so I gotta think. I mean, one thing is just, I'll block them. Does that matter? I'll find out if I've soft locked myself. Alright. Okay. Yeah, I got framers to use here. I'll use this one here. I'll put this one in front of this dude. And then... Oh, it's not in front of him because I'm going to need to push him to the side. And also, he's going to be an egg when I finish the level, so I don't need to block him. Done! Excellent. Onwards. Yeah, with Ultima 7, I don't know that much, except I know there's going to be some guy called the Guardian. I don't know if we know about him right at the start. I know that we're coming back to Britannia after 200 years, and for some reason all the characters we know are still alive. And I know that this is just from reading the manual. I know there's a new organization in Britannia called the Fellowship, and that the Fellowship is all about they're kind of they're like lifestyle coaching for a different way to effectively implement the virtues in your life. And we're gonna read some of the manual together at the start tomorrow, because it's a really well written manual that seems actually kind of important to the story. So we won't read the descriptions of all the spells or anything like that. But otherwise, okay. What do I need to block here? I need to worry about Rocky. Rocky's gimmick, Rocky is the stone dude walking around here, is that when he gets on a plane with you, he runs at you. He doesn't kill you, but he pushes you, so he can get you killed. He doesn't mean to. Rocky's a good guy. Alright. The remaining challenge here is getting to the treasure. That's really all the challenge left. And it's not going to be that challenging, is it? I need to block What do I even need to block here? I'm just trying to think. It feels like there must be more to this than I'm thinking. Exactly. Just like one of Rocky's great skills is how many punches he can absorb and just keep coming. Kind of the same story with Rocky here. Keep on coming is his whole gimmick. All right, I just need to. I barely need to do anything here. I don't think, unless I'm missing something. I just need to be careful up here. Ah. Yeah, because I just. Oh hey, we have a graphical glitch here, but. I just have to make sure I time myself so I don't step in front of the one Dawn Medusa, and then there's no threat. Yeah, I don't know how big, whether The Simpsons had an impact for you. I know that I've seen clips of The Simpsons with the German voice cast, so I know it went to Germany, but I don't know if it's as big of a deal for folks of a certain age as it was here. But there's an episode where Homer becomes a boxer, and his secret is not that because he's not athletic in any way. He has no punching power because he hasn't trained. But it just turns out that he has like an extra lining between his skull and his brain that allows him to take endless amounts of punches without losing consciousness. So the gag is that his strategy is basically the rope-a-dope, except instead of baiting his opponent into attacking while protecting himself, he just stands there until they wear themselves out, punching him in the face, and then he pushes them over. Okay. Interesting. I need to block the Medusas on the left and right. And I need... I bet the connection was not lost on the writers there. Yeah, okay. Gotta block the Medusas. So I need 2 shots from this too, right? Okay. Then... Oh, I get it. I was like, but if I block them with the skulls, then the skulls will wake up and they'll move, and then when I'll be shot instantly. But I can block them with these gulls. And then I'm gonna go in from the top? Oh, and then we'll have a little action scene. I need to put both these gulls in eggs, and then just zip right up the middle. Ta-da! Great stuff. All right, here we are, having some mild graphical glitching. But nothing so bad. Me and my buddy Greg were playing the Downtown Neketsu Special historical period drama. Lesser known quasi-sequel to the River City Ransom or Downtown Neketsu story. And some combination of like progress flags in the save file was achieved that then combined with when we went to a certain location. And I think it might have had to do with the fact that that location was using palette changes to make the rocks in a cave change color. Like the lighting was iridescent. Some combination of those flags in the saved file and then going there just broke the game. And we couldn't fix it by restarting or anything because it was clearly a problem in the save file. We'd have to start the whole game over. Even restarting the emulator didn't help. It was very disheartening. And it would have been game-breaking. But it would only in certain spots, on certain screens. And obviously, this had something to do with the game tracking our position. So, like, our X value for our position would reach a certain value. And it would just be like, I can't display the game anymore. And we figured out a way to keep advancing in the game for a little while without ever... Okay, I want to get started. I'm going to get to switch 2 arrows up. I cannot get one of the hearts next to the skull there last, or I'll be dead. Those are the challenges. I think this is an empiricism rather than rationalism one. This is a let's try this and see what happens. Okay. Okay. I have one of the switchers. Obviously, one of them needs to be used for this heart framer to my left because there's no way to get it without changing one of those. The other one I'll get when I pick up another framer. And so I guess I might as well do this. Now, I also need to change the directions of the arrows for the heart framer to my left now in order to get it. But I probably don't want to do that yet. I probably want to see if I can clear out around the skull. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. No, I'm messed up. It's not any one of these. I clearly needed to change this one because there are two other areas here that are entirely boxed in with arrows. I screwed it up. I think we'll be okay. Alright. Long ago, British and I were having a conversation about... This was back during Ultima 5, when there really wasn't an audience except for you, Stimpinski, and British, and Waffle Syrup most of the time. And maybe sometimes not even all three of you. And British was joking about, like, you know, you gotta grow the audience, you gotta get more people watching. I was like, yeah, I mean, probably playing different games. You know, I'll do different games eventually, and different things might get people to come by. And he was like, you know, also, people usually just use the retro category on Twitch for their games, rather than the specific game. Because you get a much broader range of people that might be looking at the retro tab than at a specific game. And I thought, that makes a lot of sense. Thanks for the help, British. I'll keep that in mind. And then, perversely, I never stopped just using the game category. Because there's a bit of reasoning, which was that I thought, with the game category, there might be someone who, you know, has Star Control 2 notched off as a thing they're interested in, so it will show up when something's happening in that category. Maybe. Or maybe people check the specific categories. And that made a lot of sense, I think, with a lot of the games I've done. Home, Starflight did get weird, and then I won. But it got weird at the end. There's quite a startling twist. Now I'm doing, briefly at least, and hello, by the way, Holmes, Adventures of Lolo. I won't spend too many weeks on this, because I bet this is way more appealing to me than to folks generally. Exactly, Stimpinski. That was my thought. I'll catch people, and that makes a lot of sense, I think, for a lot of the games I've done, because I'm grabbing a lot of seminal classic games that I've never played and trying them for the first time. So people might tune in, and then they're like, oh, wow, I get to, you know, I understand the appeal of watching someone play a game that they've never played before that you know, because it's just like watching a movie with someone who hasn't seen it, like your favorite movie. You get to experience it vicariously. You can never see your favorite movie for the first time again. But you can see it through their eyes here. Anyway, I think that Adventures of Lolo, I don't think the category is going to pull anybody in. That is my guess. I'd love to be proven wrong, because I do love these games. I'd love to, if someone showed up and was like, oh my god, Eggerland Mysteries, I love these games, and then told me a bunch of cool facts about Lolo that I didn't know, that'd be awesome. But I don't expect that to happen. Alright, how am I going to solve this thing from here on out? The objective, Holmes, in every stage, just so you know. I gotta get all the hearts, and then the treasure will open, and I gotta grab the treasure, and then the door will open, and I gotta leave. The challenge here is that skull, which right now is just an inanimate object, is going to wake up and be an evil skull that wants to eat my face as soon as I get the last heart framer. Also, the arrows have the exact effect you would expect. I can't enter them from the direction they're pointing, but I have the power, which you can see blinking on the right side of the screen, to change one of the arrows and divert it. I must now do so wisely. Alright. I think I have a plan. Let's find out. Let's find out if I actually have a plan. Get this one. Change this. Grab this. Get this. And then, okay, what's my path out of here? Waffle syrup! Welcome back! Oh no. Have I doomed myself? No. I see. I want the skull chasing me because my path through to the exit is actually through the square that he's occupying right now. I think I'm set. As long as I can outrun him, which I think I can't. I mean, if I had not run into a dead end, I think I had that. Okay. Game over. Oh no. Very silly to have lives in a game like this, but as long as you don't reset, you pick continue. Do 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 do. And you start again from the same stage. If you take that password down, I'm pretty sure the passwords go to the start of each floor, and then you have to replay puzzles that you've already solved. Yeah, they didn't nail any of this, I don't think. Lolo 2, which I bet I get to today, has better puzzle design, even though the mechanic, literally there's nothing changed about the mechanics in Lolo 2. And also, most of the enemies look better, and possibly the other graphics too. And then Lolo 3 is just even way better. Which I'm not getting to today, because there's no way I'm powering through Lolo 2 today. Because I don't know that I've ever beat that before. Whereas this I actually beat like 2 weeks ago. Which was kind of silly of me, since I was thinking about doing it here. For a treat for myself in between. Okay. Yeah, so I think I had this figured out. Oh, that was clumsy. But here we go. I should say this occasionally, as the audience varies. I'm starting Ultima 7 tomorrow, but don't let the schedule fool you, because I gotta update it. Normal Ultima 7 streams will be at the normal time that's on the schedule, but tomorrow and tomorrow only, I'll be starting at 10 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, because it is Thanksgiving, and I have to do a family thing. Apparently your family does not believe that you're thankful for them if you skip Thanksgiving so you can play Ultima 7, the Black Gate. Maybe they would say, oh wow, must be some game if it's worth skipping Thanksgiving. And I'd say, I don't know, I've never played it before. That probably wouldn't make things any better. Okay, maybe if I explained that a lot of people have actually been pretty excited for me to get to Ultima 7. I still think they would say, but we're your friggin' family. You should come to the family thing on the family day. Alright, gotta race this right. Here I go. You can't catch me, Mr. Skull. Especially if you're gonna take the long way around. What a chump. And we're out of there. Okay. Tons of skulls. Skulls everywhere. So here's the gimmick. I just gotta lock them all in place by putting emerald framers in each of the spots that currently has a heart framer on the inside. Which means I can't get all of the outside emerald framers yet, but I probably have to get 3, yes, because I need to change the direction of some arrows. Which arrows? Does it matter? Yes. I can't do the middle one, because obviously I need to push emerald framers across. And that won't be possible. So, change that. Grab these. Now I have the other arrow changing ability. And I'll just block them off. Easy peasy. Which is just pretty much going to be the case. Occasionally calling out the mechanics for anyone just tuning in. The grass has one feature, which is that moving enemies can't go on it. So even when these skulls wake up, they're blocked. Yeah, that's the thing. I've built relationships with these dudes. We have saved Britannia together thrice now. And like, as of Ultima 6, I even know what their faces look like. And so, the remaining task here. Pretty clear, I think. Do the top one. Yeah, the skulls are locked by that grass, so I don't need to worry about blocking the ones against the grass from the top or bottom. We're golden. Yeah, the family you chose. But again, that's another one. That's a phrase that is very sweet when you're talking to your friends and your dear friends and telling them they're the family you chose. But when you have a good relationship with your real family and you say, and you use that phrase, it's like, well, what the fuck, dude? Boom. And quite frankly, I don't call my mother enough. Just because I hate talking on cell phones. I don't dislike talking to my mother or talking on the phone. But I hate cell phones and I don't have a landline. I miss landlines. But even though I could afford a landline now, there's no reason. I'm an affluent person. I could have a landline and a cell phone. But also I'm spoiled because my parents' home phone number, which was my phone number for most of my life, is a palindrome. And somehow, also, my cell phone number is a palindrome. So I don't want to get some stupid non-palindromic phone number. That has no appeal to me at all. Alright. Trick here is instantly clear to me, at least. I need to block Medusa from the bottom, because she can shoot me through that tree when I'm trying to get the treasure chest. I have the hammer power, or will gain the hammer power. The way powers work, folks, is they're specific to each level. Like, you don't just get the powers whenever you need them. You get them only when you need them, because the developers gave them to you. And they activate after a certain number of heart framers are picked up. Oh, in this case, all of them. Which means I need to block Gall off from the bottom before I walk past him. Which won't be too hard. Just gotta think carefully here. I want to push this one up. Do I though? Uh-oh. No, I didn't want to do that. Womp womp. You know what? Because I realized it, I'm excusing myself and using the rewind. I mean, it's not like the rewind makes the puzzle any easier. Yeah, there it is. Because I just need one of these to be free. I'll use this one to block the goal. And then I'm just going to need to set another one up. So when I get the hammer, I can smash a rock out and push the thing under the Medusa. Which means I want to push this up to here. And then I want to push this one like this so it's not going to interfere. Otherwise, that's just junk. I'll put this here for now because I want to smash this rock when I can. Then I put the framer across. We're golden. Alright. So when I grab this one, when the hearts start flashing, that means picking this up will activate the next available power from the top down in your power list, which in this case is only the one hammer. Now I can use the hammer. Just gotta remember to do it all in the right order. And I did. Boom. It's certainly helping, again, that I did just beat... I just played through this game like 2 weeks ago. But it's also helping that these are pretty easy puzzles, and I am a general old hand at Lolo. I've been playing these since I was a child. Alright, lots going on here. What do I need to do? What needs to be blocked? The Medusas need to be blocked. All of them on the side. On their available side. That's the only absolute necessary blocking that needs to be done. Let's see what we can do here. 1, 2. I think I want to go down, because when you can avoid locking a framer against a wall so that you can never access it again, you should move it like that. At some point in the next few weeks, I will not be doing Lolo on Saturday. I haven't decided what I'm going to do yet. One idea in my head is Live Alive, which is a Squaresoft JRPG that I enjoyed a lot as a kid in translation on an emulator. And they just recently did a remake. A remaster. Remake, remaster, whatever. In the style, in the 2D HD or HD 2D style. Kind of like pop-up book looking style that they use, that they used for Octopath Traveler. Alright. So that's one thing done. Because I never need to go directly above those Medusas in this stage. I should take the framers I can easily get. Which is most of them. I think if I can manage it, I want to get the top ones last. Because then I'll never have to go on the same level as the goals there when they've woken up. So all I gotta do is get 2 framers to the bottom. And I guess I should make sure that I'm ready up here. That I haven't locked myself in any way when the time comes. And I think that alone should be enough. Okay. So, here's 2 framers. Seems pretty straightforward, eh? Just put it up to there. Get on the other side of it. I can push it all the way down. And then I'll push it. And then I'll push it. Uh-oh. Well, I did it to myself. That's why it really hurts. Ah. I'll just rewind. I need to think a little bit more here. Hello, British! Is this a... I'm trying to figure out if I can decipher why all the vowels. Is it just a... Because it's the month of Halloween now? Like a, you know, like a... Good evening. Like a spooky voice. I don't know. Okay. Okay. I gotta get these 2 framers at the bottom. How am I gonna get the other one to not be my problem? My problem? Maybe. Oh yeah, here's what I'll do. I'll set this one aside up here. So it's accessible. Ah! I know I've seen... Maybe even never sat down and watched all of that. But I know I saw some of it when I was a kid. But I will admit, until you clarified, I didn't remember that was a I didn't catch that as a reference. Ah. So yeah, I'm playing Adventures of Lolo today, British. I'll explain the basic mechanic to help you follow along, which is that in each stage, I need to pick up all the hearts, and then the treasure box will open, and I get the treasure, and then the door will open and I leave. The complicating factors here are the gray lady faces. Oh, sweet. Excellent. Then perhaps you can answer this for me, British. I know that also Wikipedia could, so I can find out the answer to this anyway. In Europe, is it called Adventures of Lolo, or do they use the original Japanese name of Eggerland Mysteries? Or some third name? Like how Contra becomes Probotector when they released it in Europe originally. Okay. Ah, Medusas everywhere. Where do I need to block them? Ah! I'll Google it at some point. Ah, heck. No, I'm not going to Google it right now. I don't care that much. Alright. Well, let's see. I need to block... Well, this one needs to be blocked like this. This one might take a couple tries to get right. Since I never like to try to just stare until I know the whole answer, so I start acting and I'm probably going to get something wrong. I need this one blocked on this side or else I can't go past here. I can't use... Someday, if you're not doing it during the stream, please invite me. I haven't played Fall Guys, but I've seen enough of it to know that I would have fun playing it. Okay. Well, I mean, there's no puzzle here, so I get that one. I need to block the Medusa directly above me right now from the top. And block the other Medusa from the left. But I can't do that with one, because there's no way to get up above. Gotta use the half trick. Blocked, blocked. And then I gotta make this one perform double duty, and that's it. Boom. Excellent. Okay. Just enjoying the music for a moment. I don't know if it's audible at all right now, because I'm well aware. I've got it set very low in the mix anyway, because I'm well aware that I might be unique in my immense tolerance for the endlessly repeating music of Adventures of Lolo 1 through 3. Absolutely love this music. Helps me concentrate. Actually, I don't know if it does. Alright, well, gotta block Medusa on all sides and then just get to the treasure before the skull gets me when he wakes up. So, gotta get up to those framers. The only tools that I have at my disposal for blocking Medusa in. Okay. I can't tell if there's any trick here. Any way that I could do this wrong and screw myself up. Because I'll block her from the top pretty easily. And from there, and I can grab this one now. But I think I won't just yet. That might be a good one to grab last. When I want to flee, flee from the skull. Now, I could, why not? I'll go down and get that one out of the way, so it's not an obstacle, because now it's all about moving the framers down in a way that works to keep them mobile. For the one that's going to block her from the bottom, that's not too tricky. I'll go like this, and then just put it back up and push it over. And then, I've cleared that path, and I need to block her, obviously, from the right, from the east. And that's not hard either, is it? It's not. Just down, to the right, back one to the left. She's boxed in, and now it's just a race. And I think I'm going to win the race. I got cocky, team. Okay, well, I mean, I have the solution to the puzzle. Just have to execute. Most of the time. I mean, you know, some Lolo levels, execution is very important. Like when you're being chased by a skull that you could not possibly have secured yourself from. And then sometimes the execution part is not the hard part. And there are some Lolo levels that are like heavy on reaction and action. Especially the ones with moving enemies that are already awake at the start. Very few mechanical changes throughout the series. We are going to get at least a little bit of Lolo 2 today. And as we shall see, Lolo 2 introduces no new mechanics. Literally nothing. Lolo 3 will introduce one new enemy type that only appears in like... Lolo 3 also has a world map and a lot of buildings that tend to have 5 to 10 puzzles in them. And there's 4 underwater structures that have a new fish enemy. And otherwise it's the same game. Also, you can play as Lolo, but that's not super important. I mean, you can play as Lala. It's not super important to the experience. Because she doesn't have, like, special powers. That Lolo doesn't have. She's just pink and has a bow. Okay. She's gotta not slip. That's all I gotta do. There we go. Ah! Okay. Whew. Pivoted too soon at the end there, but I caught myself. Got back on track. Dawn Medusas. Terrifying. Okay. I need to block off the Dawn Medusas. Possibly from the top. Possibly... Yeah. It'll have to be from the top. Because there'd be no way to get the heart framers out of there and take them up to the top. Thank you, Waffle Syrup, for clarifying that. I think I knew... That's like a thing that I knew in the sense that I've definitely, like, when I learned that it was ever called Eggerland Mysteries, it was in the context of reading with the whole game. Yeah. Very few mechanical changes, except I know that, I think it was in 1995, there's a PC Lolo game that's actually, like, I can't remember what it's called, but you only play as Lala. Like, I think Lolo might even be kidnapped. That might be the plot. And that game was different because it is still single-screen puzzles, but they're not single-exit puzzles, and there's a broader map, so where you exit the puzzle actually, you know, like Legend of Zelda 1 style, flips you to a new screen. Only played a little bit of that when I was younger. That might be a thing I want to do someday. There's so many things I want to do someday. Which I think is probably more a blessing than a curse, so I won't lament it. I can't do all the things I want immediately. A little bit of action gaming here to avoid Dawn Medusa on the other side. Alright, we made it through and we did not get stabbed. Because yes, in this adorable little game, the Dawn Medusas will throw a dagger at you and get you right in the neck. Whatever Lolo's neck might be. I guess they get him in the head / body. So that's the anatomy of a Lolo or a Lala or whatever an Eggerlander is arms, legs, head, body, tail. Okay. That part's easy enough, but now, how many more framers do I need to finish this puzzle properly? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I need 5, which means I need them all. I cannot soft lock any of these framers, so how can I get another one out? None of them can go up and touch the top wall. That's for sure. I have an idea. Because looking at it right now, I'm like, I don't see any way. I know there is a way, but I don't see it. Here it is. There's one more. And this will allow me to get to the place that you long to be when there's a Dawn Medusa in the level. The place where they are locked down and you don't have to think about them anymore. Where they become the equivalent of just Medusas. I still do need to worry about them because they have the trees there so they can get me through the trees. But I can block them through the trees and Medusas from the top with the same framers. So now it's just the mechanics of getting them out. Well, the free floating one will be easy. Just gotta remember to not get ahead of myself. For example, I can't push this into place yet because I'll get got from the other side. Even though I understand that in terms of content creation, if there's jump scare potential, especially when you're playing a horror game, of course, but even I do get absolutely terrified when I'm unexpectedly hit by a Medusa or Dom Medusa. I know that's good content. I still don't want to show myself as a grown man being visibly startled while playing the Adventures of Lolo. But that will make it all the better, content-wise, if it does happen. Because you'll know it's authentic. I have no shame in admitting that it happens to me. Still don't want to do it on the record. Push this up one. Okay, this is under control. It's all over but the crying. I don't know who's crying. Maybe the Medusas cry when they realize they're not going to get you. Yeah. It's all over but the manual labor portion. Another floor down. Am I going to floor 8 or floor 9? I'm getting close. Hideous font. Congratulations, you have just cleared floor 8, or B. You are now almost at the room of the Great Devil. Oh, okay. So the Evil King has a much cooler name than Evil King. He's the Great Devil. I'm not sure if that's actually just a bad translation here and he has an actual name somewhere else. Okay, this is an action level, but it's just all about using these cul-de-sacs to get around Alma. I don't think I got... No. It's all about doing that, but also got to get Alma into her... Yeah, once she's rolling, she can't course correct. And she starts rolling when she's on a line with you. So you got to manipulate her carefully. Then... Then I'm just going to do the same gimmick in the other direction. I don't even need the second cul-de-sac. Boom. Alright. More pushing 3 gimmicks. With the added gimmick that we need to block at least 4 of those goals at the end. I think the 2 in the top are not a threat. I don't think their fireballs will go fast enough to stop me from getting the treasure first. Let's find out together. The real hard part is going to be choosing to push the framers in the right spot so that I can get up. For now, I will lock as few as I can. Okay. And obviously, 2 of these need to come up because we're going to use the half movement gimmick to block 4 goals with 2 framers. I still need to get them up there somehow. Oh, wait. No, there's no way to get them up there, is there? No. So there's going to be shots. I have to get shots. And use goals and eggs to block the other goals. Okay, I can do that. It could also be you gotta... I don't think so, though, because I don't think you can run fast enough to get past the first 2. We shall see. Okay. Well, nothing to do but start pushing and see if I get stuck. Actually, that's another... On the note of action sequence, that is one weird thing that comes in Lolo 3. There's a bunch of boss fights where all the bosses are just giant versions of the enemy. They take up 4 tiles in a big blank room, and you have unlimited shots, and you just shoot them until they're in an egg, and then shoot the egg away. They're not great action gaming, but it's cute to see the giant designs. So I guess it adds less. It doesn't add nothing. I'm stuck. I'm stuck because I pushed the thing in the wrong direction. obviously. Okay. 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 I gotta do this. This is a rationalism one. This is a think about it rather than just trying something one. But what is the answer going to be? I don't know. Let me try that. And now. Well, I think I can afford to block one of these off like this. But not both, I don't think. Maybe even both. I don't know. I don't know. Now, I'll be honest. I'll do it again from the start. Okay. Gotta stop and think here. I only have to get to the top by one of the 3 paths, and then I can grab the other 2. So it's okay to block 2 paths, but not 3. That much is known. So... I do think this is the... I don't think there's any gimmick I could do down on this level that would matter. Because it's just as locked that way. Is there... Okay. Well, let's try it from this side. So far, so good. Oh, yeah. I don't have any shots yet. But I have access to all the framers now. Hopefully, one of them gives me some shots. Hell yeah, baby. Well, should get down to business now, then. And just, yeah, action sequence for sure. Just do this as quick as I can. There. Okay. Alright. So, what's the gimmick here? I need to block that Medusa, obviously. I need to somehow get past that goal. Like, grabbing the treasure is going to be an issue. The sand, for anyone just joining us, which is the... You can interpret the graphics. The sand slows me down, so I don't want that to be the last framer I get unless I block this guy, which I bet I can because there's so many leapers. Oh ho! 76! That's an intriguing offer, and I'm going to make you the same counter offer that I make to every bot that shows up offering to sell me followers. Give me like 100 free followers right now so I know you got them. And then we can have a conversation about me paying you for more. But you gotta act fast because as we speak... Uh-oh! Hey, thank you, Thedev. I was even typing it. I forgot that I could have just said, as we speak, the mods are taking care of you. Clown. Alright. Thanks for playing. Okay. Gotta block Medusa from the top. And I want to block this goal. Because using a leaper as a block is okay there. Because leapers will disappear when I get the treasure. So then all that remains is figuring out how to deal with that goal. And I think the answer is that the last heart framer I want to pick up is the one at the top in the sand. And I'll be safe because I blocked them. Because there's got to be something going to happen here. Like this. I don't know. Let's grab that. And we'll see if the leapers are going to give me some method of dealing with this. The grass is my friend here. Leapers can't go on the grass. And so I can stand here like this. And the first leaper will come and solve my Medusa problem. And then I want to zip across to here. Stand here until the leaper comes and solves my goal problem. And I've got 2 shots. So now, with the remaining leapers, my only concern is stopping them from messing up my game. So I will, yeah. I'll stand here. Block one off. I could have got them stuck at the bottom there, now that I think about it. There's one, not bothering me. And then this last one won't bother me. There. Alright, sleep well, buddies. And then it's just a race. I just have to... When you shoot them twice to take them off the screen, they eventually respawn unless you cover where they were with something. Actually, that might be a mechanic that does not show up in Lolo, but shows up in Lolo 2. Which is another one of those mechanics that you can't see when you just look at the puzzle. So it might actually be a weakness in some points of view in the design, because you can't guarantee that you figured it out. There are some enemies that when you cover them, instead of being just blocked from respawning, they respawn somewhere else. But I don't think that's going to happen in this game. So I just got to make it back around. The sand is an issue here, but I don't think it's a big issue. Nope. Nothing too challenging. Like I said. Like I keep saying. Okay. Aha. I have a bridge. Or I will have the bridge power. And I have some framers up here. There's a goal, a goal, a goal. Okay. I think, and some of this is probably just memory, but I think I've got a plan here. Or at least the start of the plan. Alright, I have 2 shots and the bridge now. So, with the first framer, I should just block this goal. Wait, is that the best move? Yeah, what else am I going to do? That should be fine. I want the bridge to go across here. There's nothing that can be done with this framer except to put it here. So then, I mean, this thing better give me shots, because otherwise I don't know how I'm getting the treasure before the goal gets me. But here's the trick. Patience! Because obviously, if I just grab that framer, I'm getting got. But if I wait till the snakey's back, there's gonna be shots, right? Because 2 shots. Nice try, buddy. It was a good effort, but you failed. And then I put this one in an egg. We're done. And this is nearing the climax of the game. This is also, from what I understand, not the same game as Adventures of Lolo 1 for the Japanese audience. So I think this was quite literally put together as an introduction to the series for American players. Or Western players. English-speaking players. Nintendo Entertainment System players. Whatever you want to call them. Okay. Well, this part's straightforward. You gotta do that to advance. I do not need, at any point, to block that Medusa from the top. So I won't. Instead, I'll use this to block this Medusa from the side and push it another half to block that goal, because there's only 3 framers. I'm about to set this party off. And then, seems pretty straightforward, actually. Go figure, yet again. Pushed it halfway. Was a little startled there. The goal breathed, even though I'm safe. Push that one halfway. See how I said this game will rely heavily on the halfway gimmick? Because I also had to recognize 2 halfways is necessary to give me a full space to move through. We're on to the last floor. One more brief intermission before we take this one home. Hang tight, gang. Back. Alright. Okay. Now. We're on the floor of the Great Devil, gang. So there's not a lot left to go here. Skulls are obviously an issue. There's a Dawn Medusa on the go. And I'm gonna need to block him. He's gonna need to be boxed in. Because there's a heart in the bottom. So I gotta get to the other side of him at some point. The goal is also an issue if that's the last heart framer that I can get. And I gotta plan for the skulls. Okay, so what can I do without... There. Okay, 2 shots. That can be helpful. I can gain access to all of these emerald framers by just not having access to that one. I can otherwise have all 4 of these. 2 of them are for the Dawn Medusa. And... Okay. So I'll start bringing one over anyway. And check this out. I'm going to need to move this snaky if I'm going to get above this framer and push it down. So I think I should think ahead here and also plan for this snaky to block the skulls. I think. So if I just go to like here with it, hopefully that's something. We shall see. Put this down here. Obviously I need to put this snaky in an egg. And I can't think of anything I could do by pushing it up. So I don't think there's anything complicated to do with that snaky, which is comforting. And then... yeah. Go figure. It turned out this one was pretty straightforward. I've been trying to think, as I've mentioned, trying to figure out what is going to be the next like real Saturday game. Not that this isn't a real game. Not that we're not all having fun here, right? But, you know, that we'll invest some time in and actually like experience at length. Obviously I need to get the framer down here last Because the skulls are gonna... Actually, I guess I don't... I think there's more than one way to do this. Because I could have... maybe not. No. Maybe if I had put this snaky here, I could have done it so that I activate the skulls, but they can't get to me because of the grass, and I wait till they're all down below, and then I push an emerald framer down. But I think this is the more straightforward way. Excellent. Yeah, we've got this one in the bag. We're about to see the ending cinematic. Not after this stage, but it's not going to be too long. Then we find out the plot of the sequel also today. No, I won't spoil the plot of the sequel. Because it'll show it to us in a nice cinematic at the start. Yeah, so Live Alive is one possibility for the new Saturday game. But so is, now that I think about it, like, Earthbound? I would do Earthbound. I try to play through Earthbound once every few years, and I haven't played in a little while. I don't know. I'm open to suggestions, too. Although I do have a lot of ideas already in my head. So it would be a really good suggestion to get in there and compete for space. In my brain. Okay. Now. What needs to be done here? This is one that I think requires, unless you get lucky, some trial and error. Because which heart framers have the shots? Obviously, this one has 2. Because I need to zap a snaky off the map to get started at all here. Or at least push a snaky. And then... and then... Tricky. I think I see something. But okay. Let's start finding out which ones have shots. We're going to liberally use rewind here. Because it's an annoying way to structure the puzzle. To require us to keep doing it until we find out which ones have the shots. No, that was not my finest leaper positioning. I'll let myself off the hook for that too. I'm a very forgiving person for my own mistakes. Yeah, it does have to be a 2-shot, doesn't it? I don't... well... I suppose... Hold on. I could try this. Because if I can get the leaper asleep here, which I absolutely cannot. Is that gonna stymie me? I think it is. You know what? I'll just start over. Game over. Just tremendous achievement in a hideous font design. You're gonna fight with the Great Devil one-on-one. Good luck. This is the floor of the Great Devil. Okay. Yeah, I think the answer is to... But there's no shots there, so we're stuck. See, like, this is not great. There we go. Well, maybe the other one is on the left, but not the top. Hooray! Okay. Oh, this one also has to have shots, or else I do need to figure out a different plan, which I clearly do. This is not going to work out. Okay. Fair play. It is about using one shot per leaper. And perhaps I should have recognized that, having literally just done this in the past couple of weeks. But okay. Because what about this? That might cause problems, or it might not. Let me think. In the end, this gall is going to be an issue, huh? So that's probably what the framer's for. The one absolutely necessary despawn in the whole game, perhaps? Let's find it. Hopefully that's okay. No. Okay. Okay. This is good. Yeah. In fact, what I do remember is not the solution, but I remember like a couple weeks ago being like, okay, this one is giving me something to chew on at least. All right. So, I need a leaper or an emerald framer blocking this guy, and I'm going to use this guy to block this guy. And then, because they're face to face then. And then I've cleared up the path. I think the framer should be enough to get it done here. Except if I put the framer in position now, I'm stuck. So, let's see. Can I set it up with the galls right away? I think I can. Okay. Whoops. Sorry, Leaper. Oh, no. It's not as bad as it looks. It's not great. It's not the end of the world. As long as I stay smart with the rest of these. Reminds me, my buddy Big James, as I call him, because, can you guess? He has the same name as me, but he's much larger than I am. I know Big James because we used to work together in the housekeeping department at the hospital. And there was a time when it got to the point where, you know, I've really, really overdone the overeducated thing now, and it's just like, holy shit, dude, like, when are you gonna not be a housekeeper anymore? And he gave... so I actually have received once in my life the Goodwill Hunting speech from a real friend, where he said, James, I just... Alright, I'm gonna give you some lead time on this, but you have 1 year. And if a year from now, I see you anywhere in this hospital wearing those scrubs, your janitor scrubs, I'm just gonna grab a pillow, man. I'm just gonna say I'm sorry, but it just has to be done. Anyway, the actual reason I bring this up is because I said all I gotta do here is be smart or not be dumb, and then I remembered that Big James, when we hang out, so often starts sentences like this: James, you're the smartest person I know, but I'm not sure I'm the smartest person anybody knows, but he does say that a lot. There's a lot of, oh, for Christ's sake. Alright. We'll do this one with 2 shots, because we do have a shot to spare, and then just gotta deal with this guy. And right here we'll do. We got it. There. That's just a little smattering of how fun Lolo can be when you're not just cruising through it. Why did I even bother starting with Lolo 1, you might ask? I don't have an answer for you. I'm just saying. I understand why you might ask. Okay. Here, we're going to have a hammer. And so, I feel very comfortable. Partially because I remember this. But also, I remember when I did it. Recently, not remembering it and realizing. Here's a rock that I want to smash. Because where I'm actually going to want to stop Don Medusa is by blocking him in there. So I got to block him in one spot. I have to block both Medusas twice. So I need 5 things to do all the blocking. But there aren't 5 things. What are we going to do? We're going to rely on recycling one Snaky. We're going to act fast once. Get the Snaky in position. Grab the thing and then zap the egg away before it disappears. That's what we're gonna do. Oh wait, there's more to it than that. So we also gotta go up, cross the river to get the things those goals are guarding. There might be some bullshit here about where we get our shots from. Let's find it. Oh-ho. I think if there is bullshit about where the shots come from, we've evaded it. I almost accidentally killed the Snaky. And I did just accidentally lock the emerald framer in place. There we go. Okay. So I guess this framer I'll use to stop Medusa from the top here. And then I gotta do the same thing on the other side. And we'll assume the same current. The laws of symmetrical video game architecture. I think I want to leave this framer here for a moment. Because there's gonna be a need to dive for cover. Or I'll put it back there when the time comes. Okay, now it's all clear. We're done worrying over there. And then we'll just use these 2 Snakies over here. And obviously, since they're not flickering yet, the heart framers, we're getting the hammer from the last one. You know what? Floor 10 has good puzzles. It's not just that one puzzle. Floor 10, which makes it such a tease. You start to think, oh, okay. Okay. Very clever. Things are getting trickier, and then it's like, congratulations, you've done the hardest thing we could come up with. It's kind of deflating. Sorry, Don. Mr. Medusa. Ta-da! Okay, what's going on here? We have a Don Medusa and a graphical glitch that is allowing him to try to hide from us. And then we have Medusas on the bottom that need to be blocked from the sides. A Medusa at the top who needs to be blocked from below. And obviously Don Medusa needs to be dealt with somehow. And I'm going to need to get up there to get to the treasure. That's going to happen after all the dudes are awake. I'm going to have 1 hammer. Okay. Well, low-hanging fruit. Now we've got some shots. So, think about this. It's one of those ones where I think it depends which framers have the shots. So let's find out if it's this one. It is. Okay, we're still on track. Okay. So, 2 of them need to be blocked from the sides. And there's going to be some maneuvering with Dom Medusa. So I need the Snaky for that. Right? Whew. Whew. That was a little foray into survival horror for a moment. But I made it one step ahead of the Dagger Man. And now I get the hammer. Excellent. However, I think I want to use the Snaky for one of the Medusas at the bottom. So... Oh no! Allowing myself a rewind there. Bonk. Come on, come on. I'm gonna give myself another rewind. Okay. Do this right. In later Lolo games, some of the really challenging puzzles start throwing, a lot of running at you, but then because you're not sure what the solution is, you're not sure you're supposed to be running, and that leaves you inevitably with a lot of you're doing the run over and over again and trying to figure out if you've actually optimized the inputs. Because if your thumb is just slipping and you're wasting moments, then maybe the run is possible. You should keep trying. But maybe it's literally just not physically possible. Because there's no way to make Lolo go faster. Alright. The treasure box blocks the skulls. Yes? Yes. Okay. So now we just gotta do the waltz. With Dom Medusa here, and then the one shot is the rest of the solution to the skulls is easy. Boom. Not necessary, but always more comforting when the Dom Medusas aren't moving anymore, except for their creepy teeth. And then zap, push. We're done here. Okay. No powers. Bunch of goals. Almost certainly 2 shots from the one framer. So, the question is, how do I block off the Medusa? Let's see if it's the most straightforward possible solution. Gotta wake him up. Okay. That's the thing. Gotta think here. I need to push a goal down to the bottom there to block Medusa. And that has to be that goal. Most of them aren't pushable, except you can push them into the lava and they'll just sink. Again, you could think, you just did this, man. Oh, alright, let's try this. Let's put this dude in an egg so he's not bothering us. And now a lot depends on if Lolo can run fast enough to avoid the flames. If it doesn't work, it's not possible, because all I'm going to do is hold down. Alright. Think good thoughts, team. Well, I don't think that was it. Alright. Hmm. Okay. Okay. How else could this possibly work? If I came down from the other side and I put this goal in an egg and I pushed him in, it wouldn't work because I can't get him over or around the treasure chest. And I wouldn't have a second shot to make him gone. Wait. Probably not, but it might be the half gimmick. Maybe if I run right there, I don't get hit. I don't think that's going to be it, but now that it's occurred to me, we got to try it. Hey, this confirms that I didn't completely ruin the Lolo 1 experience for myself by memorizing all the puzzles a couple weeks ago. Yeah, the late game leans heavily on this one trick. And then the climactic battle. It kind of seems anticlimactic, right? That's the Great Devil? You sure that wasn't a lesser devil? Ah, look at them. They're so cute. Such a simple design. But it's very endearing. And then the land heals. We get a new song. Hold on, let me. I don't think anything that exciting is going to happen after all of the trees one by one. But it's picking up pace, picking up speed. Will the grass turn green? No. The grass in Eggerland is still dead. But we've got our trees back. And presumably in time, like when the trees shed their leaves in the fall, and they'll biodegrade, and we'll get the grass going again next spring. Awesome! Fun! Alright, so that is Lolo 1. It's just about 5. 1 second, folks. I know I'm supposed to not go too long because of urgent furniture shopping. But I'm not even sure if Danielle's home yet. If she's not home, there's no pressure on me. So let me just go check. Hang tight. 1 sec. I think we're alone now. Alright. We're clear to at least start. I don't know if we'll even get to the good puzzles, because obviously the start of Lolo 2 is going to reintroduce us to the Lolo puzzle mechanics. But we'll try. I can't hear. Alright. People complain about, gamers complain a lot about Nintendo, as you're probably aware. Very, they still haven't figured out how to do online. They stopped, with the GameCube, they stopped trying, or the Wii, they stopped trying to have cutting edge hardware. Oh, they rely on motion control gimmicks. Come on, Nintendo, real gamers don't like that. Oh, why are the games so kiddie? Oh, when are you going to release Mother 3? Etc., etc., etc. here's my big Nintendo complaint. Besides what I said earlier about how there could easily be new Lolo or Eggerland, whatever you want to call it, games released on eShop made by HAL Laboratories. We know that HAL Laboratories still likes to make fun budget titles for the eShop that are puzzle games. And I'm not, no disrespect to Box Boy because I like Box Boy. But come on. Give me some more Lolo. And then separately, it's become kind of a meme that when they put new games on the Switch Online for NES or SNES, that they're really kind of often scraping the bottom of the barrel because it's not like Capcom's going to be like, yeah, sure, give the Mega Man X games away for free to your subscribers when Capcom could just sell them in a collection. But I'm absolutely sure... Whoa. Sorry if that little shift hurt anybody's brain. I'm positive that Nintendo, due to their extremely close relationship with HAL Laboratories, I know they could get the Lolo games. The rest of them. So why is it only Adventures of Lolo 1 still on Switch Online? I don't know. But for that reason, I'm going to have to fire up QFC-UX, a NES emulator. Don't worry, folks. If you're staunchly concerned about intellectual property rights, I do own Lolo 2 via Virtual Console on my Wii, which resides inside my Wii U, because I did the transfer data thing. But I didn't feel like digging out my Wii U. So we're going to play it, but I have the right. Not hurting anybody. Here we go. Adventures of Lolo 2. Prepare yourselves to find out what's happening in Eggerland now. Oh God! Oh Lord! I'm sorry. I don't know if that was as hideously loud for the folks at home. No, it wasn't even there because I haven't added my headphones as an audio source here. I'm going to cautiously add my... Well, trust me, it was too loud. Way too loud. I'm going to turn my own headphone volume way down because I don't... When you're capturing a window, which is obviously what I'm doing for the emulator, my audio monitor plugin does not work. Like I can't make a special monitor that I control the volume for on my headphones. Yikes, that was very loud. We're going to err on the side of... Oh yeah, we do also... Yeah, the visual part is absolutely going to be there. But suffice to say, you can probably imagine the sound. It was using a noise signal to simulate thunder. And it was extraordinarily loud, for me at least. Completely silent for all of you, and I'm glad for that. Okay. So we're erring on the side of great caution here. So you might not even get to experience the thunder sound effects at all this time. But get ready to find out what's been happening in Eggerland. Okay, that's more bearable for me. If you didn't catch the subtext there, the great devil has kidnapped Lala, and now Lolo is to save her. They actually come up with a new plot for the third one. But not yet. Oh, I don't need instructions, but thank you. That's another innovation. Title screen looks prettier. And this time, innovation, the great devil has a tower instead of a big castle. And he hasn't destroyed the land around him. Now this is the Lolo music to me. And I think Lolo 3 either has a very similar song to this or a completely different song. Obviously. What a stupid thing to say. I think Lolo 3 has its own song as well. And it's great. You might not be able to hear it at all. Let me know when it gets too annoying. I'll turn it back down. But here we are. Exact same game. But the palette's brighter. Everything looks better already. this level is easing me in. Can you see how to solve this puzzle? I think, like, I'm actually not sure that they do have a different song in Lolo 3. So it might be that they realized, this is it. This is perfect. We could do, you know, until the end of time. People will enjoy solving block pushing puzzles while listening to this. I'm not sure. But, it really is kind of, like, especially in Lolo 3, that has, like, different areas and a world map and stuff. It's like, still just one song for the puzzles, huh? But it's, I love it, so I'm okay with it. Here we are. Alright. The skulls look way better. Give it to me. Give it to me, baby. I love a bad pun. Okay. How am I going to deal with these skulls? I think I got this one. Is it an octopus? Full disclosure, I've never heard this joke before. Oh, alright. What is it? Haha. Nice. Two. Octopus, I think. I should type out the way that I'm pronouncing it just so it's entirely clear. Also works, right? And is also a terrible pun. Okay. Alright. How will I defeat these guys? Well. Nice. It's a choose your own adventure pun, riddle, joke. Oh, jeez, this is actually easy, isn't it? Well, of course it is. It's stage 2. But yeah, no new mechanics. Nothing changes about the game. But almost all the enemies look better. I think Alma looks exactly the same. I think they might have just nailed Alma the first time around. But we are getting, you know, the mechanics are coming a little bit faster. Because this is also teaching me when you have 3, do this. And then I have options here. I can just try to beat Alma in the race, but I could also trick her. I could go down here, and then when she rolls, zip around her and block her in. But I don't need to. So I won't. Let her roam free until I obliterate her. I assume we're not actually killing... Maybe we're killing the Medusas. But I hope we're not killing the snakies and Alma and stuff. They don't mean any harm. Alright. So, the issue here is just not getting soft locked by the leapers. Let's start by getting those two like that, getting this one like this. If I get out of here, which I didn't. Honestly, for introducing leapers, this is a throw you in the deep end level design. Alright. But it's not too hard. You learn your lesson the first time, and then, which is how you introduce game mechanics to people. I should have just started with Lolo 2. I don't know. I don't know why I bothered with the first one. I'm already having more fun with this. It looks way better. The song is better. And the puzzles are better. And I haven't just played them a week ago. You live, you learn. Okay. I've got to block these Medusas. They both need to stay blocked on the bottom. That's unambiguous. I need to block one of them on one side, and they both need to be blocked from the top. So, both on the bottom, one on one side. I need 5 obstructions. I have 5 emerald framers. Okay. And then I gotta watch out for the Rockies, so that they don't, push me into a Medusa's path. Not because they're trying to kill me. I don't think Rockies are behaving like orcas. If you didn't know, folks, orcas are just awful creatures. And one thing that they like to do is a couple of orcas will grab a great white shark, grab it, like with their faces, and hold it up out of the water so it drowns in the air. I don't think that's what, I want to believe, because look at Rocky. Look at that smile. If Rocky is trying to kill me, that smile takes on a whole different, more, unsettling context. Alright. I'm gonna say, the game also runs smoother, but that's actually an emulator accuracy thing where this emulator, despite being, I can confirm, way more accurate than the emulators I played when I was a kid. It's not in the end state, because like at the end of it you're dead. Both death, it's bad to die by being eaten by a shark. Actually, you know what? I don't know enough about how sharks eat other fish. I know when whales eat other fish, they just go and just like gulp up a bunch of fish. And at least that's quick. It's the hold it up so it drowns. That just like every time I reflect on it, I'm like, man, that's an ice cold way to kill anything. And like it's smart too, right? They're brilliant creatures. Okay. The only obstacle here is getting soft locked by Rocky. No one has chimed in, which is fine, because ultimately I'm quite capable of making the decision when the time comes on any of the options that I raised as possible Saturday games next, or suggesting something else. Here's a dark horse candidate that I thought of. There's a game for NES called Faxanadu that's kind of like a side-scrolling action RPG. Like, not like Adventure of Link, but I thought of it as like Adventure of Link when I was a kid. And I played it a little bit when I was a kid, my uncle's place. And then never again. And for some reason it popped into my head recently, and I found out like some people still have, like, it's not ill-regarded. Might be kind of neat. And also would be another bite-sized little experience. I don't know. Dark horse candidate. Now. Well, let's see. Medusa on the left needs to be blocked on all three available directions, and same deal with Medusa on the top. Top Medusa is blocked already down, even though it's not right up next to her. I can't even get something into the one right next to her. Is that... Hold on a second. I'm going to look up the game you have just mentioned. Ah! Okay. Yeah. So it's not the game that I was thinking of, but actually might be even more intriguing to me. And it's 2008. How is it? Is it good? I was like... At some point, I want to do something German. For obvious reasons. Because you're my pals and you're German. Okay. Well. Maybe not right now, just because then Saturday and Sunday are both, like, isometric, like, Western fantasy-themed RPGs. But definitely someday, because, like... Oh, there's an innovation. Let's look at Lolo fall asleep and... No. But he does fall asleep if you don't act. Which is a cute thing. Yeah, okay. I gotta read more about this Drakensang. Because that might have to wait for however god-awful long Ultimate Step in the Black Gate takes just to not have two fantasy RPGs that are like share some similarities, at least in their like presentation and stuff. But yeah. And like I want to learn more about this Dark Eye, as I keep saying. So okay. Mentally noting that. And here I go. To block off Medusa. Cool. Just as possibilities, those sound fun. Although, you might not be surprised to hear that I rarely consciously power game in favor of picking either what I think seems cool or what I think will be silly and make people laugh. That's true in, like, tabletop RPGs. Oh, hey! We finally started our Spelljammer campaign this week. And not much to report. It was fun, but our DM has decided to start to lead us up to spelljamming, hitting realm space. So we're actually going to start with we've started just on a regular ship, and we're eventually going to find a Spelljammer helm and go to space. But we're not there yet. Okay. Use this one here. And then this one here, and then the one other free-floating one to the one other spot. Pretty straightforward. Just gotta remember not to soft lock yourself. Especially because I don't have... I'm sure this emulator has rewind. I'm sure emulators have rewind now. I haven't really done much emulating since, like, the early 2000s. So I'm not state of the art. But I'm sure that rewind is just a feature now. But I haven't looked into it or learned how to use it. Okay. Well, pretty clear what we got to do here, right? We have to block all of these skulls in, because otherwise there's no way we're making the run through the central hub here. And we have 6 objects, 4 framers, 2 snakies. So somewhere we're getting 2 shots, and now it's just busy work. Trying to keep my ears peeled. I'm sure if Danielle does get home, she'll just say, "What, you're still streaming? We have to go." And then I'll say, "Hold on one second, I'll do the spiel." I can't imagine she would just wait patiently without mentioning it. So she's probably not home. I should check though. Not because it's gonna, because she's gonna kill me, but because, try to be a nice person. I should especially try to do that to the woman who I live with and share my life with. Boo boop a doobly doo doodly doo doo doo. Whoa. And another thing, the skulls now have, animation frames that allow them to turn. They look way scarier. I'm not scared of them, because I know they're stuck. But they definitely look scarier. Okay. Only risk, it's a rocky stage. Just gotta not get soft locked. I guess it's hard locked. With the Rockies, right? You would quite literally be stuck between a rocky and a hard place. And the hard place would also be a rock, and the rocky is also a hard place. Is that something? No. It didn't feel like it was coalescing as I said it. Like, oh yeah, this is really clever and funny. But you gotta try. They can't all be winners. That's just how riffing works. Oh! I got hasty. I was by no means forced into that. That was an unforced error. Okay. This time, though. I just won't make any kind of error. Get stuck between a Rocky and Clubber Lang. That might be the worst possible outcome. Or a Drago. I must break you. Okay. Ooh, okay. Thought I might have gotten too hasty there. Alright. So, the thing about Rockies is their behavior is even a little more predictable than like a leaper. They're just gonna carry on their path, turning when they hit something, unless they get in a line with you and then they're coming to you. So, what's my gimmick here going to be? I think it's this. There. Now we've broken the pattern. And I'll be able to get over there. I even got the Rocky into the little hub. Oh, getting him in the hub was actually bad. I should have not done that. I still think I'll be okay here now. Why? I didn't need to do that. Okay. The challenge here is neither... It's not action, and it's not puzzle solving. It's impulse control, which makes this, honestly, for me, probably one of the hardest possible Lolo stages. There's no way, no other plan than just don't screw yourself over, dummy. But I am my own worst enemy. I love screwing myself over. Alright, running the loop here. Haha! Okay, let this one get a lead. We're in and out. Okay. Right. Also, you can stop them by getting on the line with them if there's something in between you. So that's something I should have kept in mind. Okay. And now, just gotta not be stupid. There we go. See, all I have to do is not be stupid. And I have 2 master's degrees, so it only took me 3 tries to not be stupid. Okay. What's the gimmick here? The gimmick here is that we need to block Medusa on all 4 sides. That's it. That's it. That's all there is. Further to that, the trick that I can see is that these 2, the top framers, only one of them can block her from the side. I'm going to need the other one to block her from the top, and I need to liberate one from the column there to block her from the other side. Wait. Yes. Yeah. Can't push the framers over the chest, but you can step over the chest. There. Get those 2. Push that here. Come back around. Alright, we're going up another level. There's no door here, so we know there's stairs. And now it's just... ding, 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 ding. Sweet! Alright. Good stuff. I'm not going to be shocked in the slightest if Lolo turns out to be the first time I play a game on this stream and it doesn't generate a single new follower. And that's okay. Because I like the followers I have anyways. Not that I don't like watching the number go up. And we're all having fun, right, gang? Okay. Well, there's no choice but to start by doing this. There's an Alma and a Dawn Medusa. Good lord. Nothing to do with this but this. So, and goals. The worst kind of goals. These are unmitigated goals. Alright. What can I do with... You know what? Here's what I can do with Alma. There. Almost not a factor now. Alright, Danielle's here. Hold on. Let me go tell her that I'll be done in a second, and then we'll wrap up after this puzzle. Hang tight, gang. Okay, let's either solve this or die, because I think if I turn out to have trouble with this, we're not solving it today. All right. I need to lock Don Medusa. That's all I need to do, really. Oh, I need the up arrow power to get to him. Which means we're gonna have a little bit of action here. Gotta go to here where I'm safe. Over to here where I'm safe. Get this one. Now we're gonna get switch the arrow power. But I hide. Zap. I gotta get up in here. I have done it. Now I want to push it out to here. Get back. Get down below it. He's trapped. Medusa's blocked from the rock. We're done. Alright. We'll take a look at the next stage. It looks fun! Because the level designs are more fun in the second game. File. Save state. Quick save. State 0. Saved. Alright. So, I should reiterate one more time for anyone who's still listening, or if for some reason you're watching this on video on demand late on your Saturday night, that tomorrow we're starting Ultima 7, the Black Gate, and unlike the typical Sunday streams, the first one's going to start earlier. I haven't changed that on the schedule yet, but I will. 10 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Tomorrow we're starting Ultima 7, the Black Gate. And then, coming up this week, if Greg's free on Tuesday and I'm not exhausted, which I might be, the term's getting real, Greg will be back over here. We'll be playing Downtown Niketsu's special historical period drama, the lesser-known sequel to River City Ransom. Then, Wednesday, I'm either finishing or getting right close to the finish of Chrono Cross. Don't know if Friday Night Forgotten Circle's happening. Next weekend, probably more Lolo unless I finally decide what the Saturday game is. Awesome. If you stuck around to the end, thanks for sticking around to the end. If you came and you left, you can't hear my voice. Doesn't matter. I'm still glad you came, so thank you. Always a good time, folks, so thanks for stopping by. And until the next time, that we're all in the exact same tower, chasing after the same great devil. Take care of yourselves, and be kind to everyone you meet.